hometown here, we want to do our absolute best and give it our all and go home with broken bones and like, you know what I mean? But yeah, you got to learn to roll with the punches. If you don't, if a band doesn't roll with the punches, you know that they probably don't deserve to be where they are because they got there a little too fast.
Sure,
you know what
absolutely
I'm saying?
so. Musically, what's going on with you guys? What's down the pipeline is what I would like to know.
New 2SG's coming up.
Say it again.
We got some new 2SG coming.
I have heard that rumor. Hey, listen, it's all right to cross-promote. Whatever we got to do, man. Whatever we got to do.
We're going to be opening for the 2SG really soon. And, I mean, he's been busy with Cabo stuff. He's been busy with 2SG. We've been busy with Greek Fire stuff. We just did a new video for one of our favorite songs that we've ever self-produced and written. It's called Coming Alive. That video is live. So that'll be working itself into more sets. We have music that is done, that is either mixed or ready to get mixed. So we're kind of pacing ourselves and making sure we do it right, and we're not just putting music out to put out music. We want the support of stations and fans, and when it's like go time, we are ready for go time.
Right.
We are ready. We just
waiting for the right time.
Waiting for a few more pieces to be set.
Hey, real quick, I want to ask this. This came to my mind as we were talking. Is there more pressure when you're playing at home? And I don't want to say less fun, because I know it's fun. I don't mean it that way. But are you a little more like sort of locked in when it's at home, or is it more freewheeling, or how is that?
That has changed over the years. For me, it used to be like way more fun back in the day, but also so much more stressful. Mostly because you got 150 family members that you don't talk to. They're like, yo, you're getting me front row, right? And I'm going to meet Donnie Fandango, right? And I'm going to hang out with everybody.
Right.
So you got to deal with that a little bit. But all kidding aside, there is more pressure, I think.
I think so. I agree, too. Yeah, because when you look out in the crowd and you see so many faces you see your family, it's like it just kicks a different gear in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
The monotony thing.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a little bit of that out. It's a little more special.
100%.
He's our chill. He's our temperature gauge. So is it cool for you?
I like playing in front of the hometown crowd. It's a lot different than playing in front of other people, because a lot of these people have seen us like 20 times, and you see those faces all the time, and you're just like, oh, hey, cool.
Yeah.
And like for me, I can just kind of look down and I'm like, oh, I feel a little more safe here.
Gets a little comfort,
especially in shows especially shows like tonight when things kind of start to go wrong. You kind of get like a little comfort.
Yeah, there's some great faces.
Like, oh,
point them out.
This is one of those days, having this job where I get to be on the peripheral of all of the bad stuff happening, but don't have to actually touch it. So I just get to like feel sorry for everybody else as they're going through it. You know what I mean? Knowing I can't help, but just trying to stay out of the way.
Yeah, that's par for the course for any festival, really. But Point Fest always brings such a different tone to the mix because the crowd is so consistent. Other radio stations in other markets and other cities, they'll do their Point Fest, right? But it's kind of a different crowd each time because it's whatever band is coming. But we have die-hard Point fans because the station is so rock solid. And I know that I preach about that and I say that and it sounds like I'm a homer and I'm just saying it because they're paying me, which is true. But at the same time, no, truly, we have such diehards here because we have such a unique station in this city. And I hope people don't take that for granted and understand that Chicago doesn't have that. Denver doesn't have that anymore. Salt Lake City, even New York and LA don't have that anymore. Man. So when we play a show like Point Fest, yeah, it's comfortable because we're seeing familiar faces and all that, but these people have supported us for years, 11 years for this band now, or 12 years. So these people, they know the words better than I do, so I better deliver. And there is much more pressure, and I push harder, and I throw my voice out, and I pull my quads more for some.
Hey, dude, a little bit early. Come on, brah. I know you're chomping at the bit, ready to get at it.
I'm just so freaking excited to be here, man.
Yeah, on Friday, November 1st, and we are in the studio.
Oh, darn it. I thought...
Live.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
Somebody showing a bit of enthusiasm.
That's what I'm here for.
All sugared up, huh, from last night?
That's right. Still going through all the bags of candy I got.
You get a good haul?
Yeah. Dressing up as a ghost worked really well. Yeah.
Nice. You have a lot of people at your house?
I don't know. We did the lazy thing and...
Oh, you hid in the basement. I get it.
Yeah, we put the bowl outside and said, have a great time.
Did?
You did? Dude, it was such a nice night.
Oh, even I answered the door.
Well, yeah, it's just been... I think normally would have, but with my wife, with her work, she's been slammed. So we've been going. And last night was one of the first times it's been like, you know what?
Oh,
Let's
you didn't
hang
want to be
outside.
inconvenienced by the kids, this guy,
Yep.
and they
Yeah.
complain about me.
Amen.
Like
you
they
know what?
say I'm the grouch.
Hey, I made it easy for them. They didn't have to do much. They just
Why don't
went
you
up, grabbed some stuff, and left.
One of you Scots has to be a
I
grouch.
answered the door with enthusiasm.
Well, and he knew that you were kind of excited for this weekend, so he took over. He just took the torch. That's all.
Like I had all intentions, obviously, of just leaving the candy outside. I'll be honest. And my wife said, "You can't do that." Fine. I'll answer the door. And it was nice. We had, I would say, maybe 15.
Oh,
Maybe
quiet.
15 doorbell rings, and that's it.
Okay.
And that's on par from the past couple years.
Okay.
15, maybe even that. Maybe 15.
That's wild.
Plenty of candy. Kids, take more than 2 pieces.
Yeah.
Go ahead, fill up. I don't need this stuff in my house. And it was fine. I was watching the Blues game. I was watching the Jets game, Jets-Texans game. Doorbell rings. All right, fine. Hold the dogs.
Yeah.
Hey, kids. You
Yeah.
want to hear a joke? No. Here's a candy.
How'd the dogs do? Were they barking the whole time?
No. We gave one of the dogs trazodone.
I know which one.
Is that
yes.
the shape?
The new dog. New dog got some
Not like-
trazodone.
He did not like when we arrived in costumes at your house.
No. In fact, he bit Rafe in the ass.
He did. Gave me a little.
Or she.
She gave me a little.
Little nip like,
She
hey,
didn't like the patterns I was wearing.
it's fine.
And she knows me.
She's a protector.
The nice thing is, well,
That dog has let me rub its belly.
if you were trying to watch a football game and the doorbell rings, you weren't missing anything when you got up, and you knew it.
Well, that was a terrible game. I was watching. I had the Blues game on.
Awful game.
Also, another snooze fest. Blues game, snooze fest. The Thursday night football game, snooze fest. Actually, you know what? The kids coming to the door.
Best part of
It
the night?
was probably the excitement we needed at the Rizz compound. And you had your little kids come at first. Was as the sun's going down between 6 and 6:30, and hey, you guys look cute. Get off our property. And then the kids start getting older as the evening wears on, and by 9 o'clock, the front porch lights were out. We're done here. It's either there's no candy left, or it's a sex offender that lives here. Think whatever. I don't care. I'm going to bed. You have a lot of people at your house?
Yeah, it wasn't as many as I thought. It was more than, I would say, a few years ago. Remember I told you our neighborhood is in transition period. And I talked to the neighbors about that, too, because they said, some of them have been there since the 80s. Like one of my neighbors, she dresses up like a witch and like has like a full-on witch broom, and she goes out there and sweeps, and it looks so legit. And I said, man, you've been doing this since we got here in 2017. She's like, oh, no, I've been doing this here since 1980.
Wow. Since 1980.
I was like, dang. And she goes,
So 44 years?
yeah. And she said that there's been a couple people, like adults, come by with their kids and say, like, hey, I grew up in this neighborhood, and you used to scare the heck out of me when I was a little kid in the 80s. And it's so awesome to see you still doing it. So she's crushing it. But she was saying that, there's like it goes in phases. And right now we're in one of the phases where there's kids coming back to the neighborhood. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, you had a whole setup. You sent some photos of your setup in your yard.
Yeah, that was before it really got kicking. We had the, the chairs, the fire pit. So me and my neighbor and the witch, we're all a nice little triangle. And they got fire pits going on. So it's like a fun, bright spot of the street. We had the fire pit. We had a projector, and we were showing a movie, and it took up almost the whole garage door. And dude, it was awesome seeing kids come up and they grab candy, and then they just kind of freeze, and they're like, holy cow, this is so cool. The parents are like, all right, we gotta go. And they're just like,
we're trying to get away from the screen time, and you got a giant screen on your garage.
It was really neat though. It was
It's
fun.
so funny. Find that the kids are outside. Find the kids are outside, like doing like something physical. And this a-hole's got a screen on his garage.
Oh, it was
And
cool.
they can't help themselves.
It was fun.
Good point.
It was
Did you buy
fun.
too much candy?
Yeah, I guess. No, I think it was just the right amount. We had about 3 inches left in the. We have like a cauldron, you know, and there was about, I would say, 3 inch deep chocolate.
That's awesome.
Left, but my kids, dude, especially the 11-year-old. So this was the first year that we let him and his buds cruise the neighborhood by themselves, and dude, it was the greatest night of their lives. I mean, they had the greatest time, and they came back, guys. I'm not kidding. Maybe 10 pounds of candy each in these pillowcases that were just packed. You know how big a pillowcase is. These things were over half full.
That's awesome.
They were so heavy. So they crushed. Their haul was amazing, and they were going for a long time because he had his phone, so he was showing us where he was. That dude covered some miles.
Nice.
Holy cow!
I don't know what my kids did, honestly. The boy, he didn't have it. He wasn't in costume. He was just hanging out.
Well, we had everybody over, and the grandkids, and like everybody. My parents were there. It was
well, that's nice.
It was fun. We it's a family gathering for us.
We went through one bag of candy. That was plenty.
Just one?
Yeah, one bag. That's it.
Whoa,
Yeah.
dude! How things have
And
changed.
we still got leftovers.
We had one Butterfinger left.
Yeah, because you left your stuff outside.
And we did good.
Did you put a sign that said one piece or just?
I said 2 pieces because we didn't have too many people before when we were out there, so I didn't think there was gonna be all that many that came by, and I guess there wasn't.
Rafe, you had a whole setup at your house.
Oh, yeah. I had a bunch of
kids.
I did have a lot of kids. There weren't a lot of houses on my street that had lights on.
Sex offender row. I get it.
It must be. And I had like quite a bit of Halloween decorations up, so my house was a lighthouse. But I'll tell you this. I'm fine with it. Am I fine with it? 25 kids. I saw maybe 2 costumes.
I mean, there were kids without costumes.
They were just coming,
begging,
coming
so
for the
it's
candy.
begging.
Gathering candy.
If there's not a costume,
gathering.
it's begging.
It's just yeah, and I was surprised by that, and it's like, I get it, man. Maybe you don't ever know what's going on. Could be low income, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And I let them, but there was just like one family came up, dude. There was like 7 kids, not a single costume.
Not a
They're
costume.
just wearing like Crocs and like a jacket. They just look like they just got out of school or something. Just had
And this was at night? Whoa, was the sun still out?
No. This was after dusk. It was nighttime. I was like watching the game, working on stuff for the show, and just had the door open. And I had some full-size candy bars like in a big bowl. And man, they even had the baby out. It was like the baby was in a diaper and had a bottle hanging out of its mouth, just like
No costumes.
no costume. And I'm like, all
And they
right.
were with parents.
I mean, they were getting in and out of a car, I think.
Oh, and they were being driven around, so it wasn't even walking.
No, they weren't walking.
Oh, well, now we're just begging for candy.
Yeah.
That's not,
Well,
that's
and I
not
was
Halloween.
like, they took more than one. I let them. I didn't tell them. I didn't set a limit because I was like, I don't think I'm going to have that many people. Man, they raided it.
You didn't give them a limit, but at the same time, you're profiling them. As soon as they start pulling up, you go, man, you're just so greedy. Such a greedy kid.
There are some kids that
Yeah, it was almost like the test of The Last Crusade. Like, which goblet will you pick?
Well, it's funny, some kids will take like one piece, and you go, no, take a bunch.
Yeah, take a few.
And then the other kids that are way more aggressive, and you don't realize how many pieces of candy those little hands can put in there, can pick up.
Well, there was
They
a
will.
group. There was a group, and we said the same thing. You were like, take a few, guys. Yeah, whatever. It was towards the end of the night, and they were a little bit older, and the one kid goes, really? And then he grabs in and grabs not a handful, but we'll say a few with the hand. And then his friend goes and double handed. I go,
Oh, no,
I go,
double hands.
Yeah, I go, hey,
You don't double hand.
Don't be greedy, man. We said take a few, give an inch, take a mile. That was
Yeah, there are some that are aggressive.
That's what happened last
aggressively.
night.
What happened
'Cause
with
I
your
had
parents,
some
man?
fun-sized Snickers and Twix. Like Green Goblin mixed in with some full-size candy bars. So I was like, you take a full-size. And, I was fine if somebody took a fun size on the side. And this one kid, he goes, hold on, I got to get some from my sister. And it was the baby with the bottle. And he's like, 2 handfuls. And I go, man, that baby's hungry, dog. What's going on?
Man,
That's a hungry baby.
Have you no shame?
But at the same time, I was like, my fat ass doesn't need all that candy laying around
Right.
the house. So
I
wanted
get it out.
Huh?
Get it out of there.
Yeah,
Take
so
it
it was
all.
fine, and I didn't run out. So all in all, I was more worried like, oh man, if I do get a bunch of kids, these kids hit me early. I got hit hard early. I got a 30-40% candy depletion off one family, and I was like, dang. I didn't buy enough candy, or I should have been handing it out. I just stuck the bowl out the door, did a trust exercise, and got burned.
Well, listen, even if you needed to be stocked back up, the grocery stores are already done with Halloween. Yesterday, they were done with Halloween by the afternoon.
Oh, really?
Pretty much all the candy was gone.
Right,
And
carries on.
they've already got the holiday stuff out.
Dang.
Like Thanksgiving stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And you're starting to see.
I'm okay with that.
You're already starting to see Christmas creeping in.
I like to buy candy today for next year, so it's
Yeah,
really
good.
cheap, good discount.
Good. Well, listen, parents, let the sugar comas commence.
Did you? Yeah. Did you guys happen to see? Because every year she outdoes herself. Did you see Heidi Klum's costume this year?
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing.
Yes.
She was E.T.
She was E.T. and it was insane.
An animatronic head, like it was like a legit.
Yeah, her face was in the
ET
neck.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, Heidi Klum is known for her Halloween costumes.
She is.
And she's been doing it for years and years and years. Just these over-the-top, extravagant. I mean, movie quality. I've hired
So
the
cool.
best. I've hired the best costume artist in Hollywood.
Yeah, we're talking about $25,000
Oh,
at
yeah.
least.
At least. She
it's a
outdid
thing.
herself this year.
Part of her
Remember the
brand.
one year she was the worm?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
hilarious.
That was wild.
That was good. You know, I will say, and that's the other fun part too. And last night was a perfect night, perfect Halloween night. It's not supposed to be hot. It's supposed to be a little chilly like
Yeah.
that. So the fire pit
was
makes
great.
sense. I was in my flight suit, and I'm sorry I didn't wear it during the show, but it was a perfect thing to walk around in, kept me warm. But man, it is fun to see some of the costumes these days because some of them are really good. Even like just like kids costumes. You remember when in the 80s, like costumes were garbage.
Oh, we've come a long way from the days I wanted to be Yoda, where it'd be the plastic face mask with two staples holding a rubber band to keep it on my head.
Yeah, and
That
even
might last the entire night. but
and even
probably
the
not.
mask itself always looked dumb. It
And-
never looked real.
And
or good.
what you put on your body was basically a garbage bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Do you remember those? Remember those old Halloween costumes?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they sell that type anymore. So it'd be just a front plate of whatever. You know, I wanted to be Yoda, and then it would have a little slit so you could breathe through, and you'd always cut your tongue.
Yeah, because there's always cracks somewhere on that mask.
Yeah.
There was a little rectangle place, you know, so you could hear somebody speak, and you'd always put your tongue through there, and it was sharp as hell. And halfway through your Halloween night,
That
one
was
of the staples would come out, and the rubber band would.
the
would
second
snap.
the second wear. The second time you put it on your head, the thing would snap.
The
And
thing
then
snaps.
And
You
you'd
have
have
to hold it up when you go to the door.
Yeah, you had to rig it in some weird way. And that, by the way, the only reason there was a slit there is so you couldn't sue them for suffocating. It had nothing
Right,
to do
but
with
you always
speaking.
cut your tongue though.
Yeah, and then it would get all nasty and hot in there and wet, and you'd start like like your breath would start condensating
Yeah.
on the inside. The cheapest costumes now are better than anything that we had in the 80s.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
But it was fun. But here's the other thing I noticed though. I saw a lot of Deadpools, and some of them were really good. But I always find it fascinating to see Deadpools of a certain size.
Like young kids, they don't know. But, I mean, that's a hard R.
A
That's like
hard
a
R.
hard rated
So-
R
yeah,
and they're
superhero
dressed-
movie.
Yeah, we
Yeah, I
had
saw
like
some of those
we had like a
Sunday.
5-year-old come up, and I was like, "Oh, Deadpool!" And all I thought was I was waiting for the parents to be like, "Yeah, he doesn't know what that is yet, but it's cool." Like, but no
Yeah, Will
explanation.
Thatcher loves Deadpool.
I always thought like, man,
He's seen it 15 times. What?
we won't let the 11-year-old watch Deadpool, but there's a 6-year-old that's like, "Yeah, I'm Deadpool."
They don't know. They just think it looks cool.
Yeah, you're probably right, but it's still,
It's probably the dad or mom showed him like, hey, look, this is Deadpool. You want to be Deadpool? Yeah, sure.
Whoa, it is one of the coolest looking costumes of all time.
Right. But, okay, so your kid's got all this candy. Somebody said their kid came back with over 7 pounds of candy, that's a good haul.
Oh man, we're gonna weigh what the boys brought back.
That's a good haul. So there is and this is for the kids out there. So kids, listen up. Your parents don't know what they're talking about when it comes to only have 1 or 2 pieces. No, this is from a registered dietitian. So a registered dietitian advises giving kids unlimited access to Halloween candy, insisting this is a great way to form good habits. Hear me out. Hear her out. This is somebody with some kind of degree. I think her reasoning is sound.
Step 1, allow yourself or your kids unlimited access to their Halloween candy on Halloween night. If you or your kids are typically restricting sugar, they probably will overeat, and that is totally fine. Step 2, allow another few days of unlimited candy post-Halloween. Night 1 is an experiment, but we really need to follow through with some consistency for our kiddos to really be able to trust that the goodies are not gone forever and their body signals can be trusted. Step 3, now that we kicked the candy off its forbidden food pedestal, it can exist alongside other foods in moderation. This means my kids get to choose a piece for their lunch and or dinner.
Okay, so what you're saying is, and that's a little clip of a larger monologue that she's got. So basically, if you or your kids are typically restricting sugar, they're probably going to overeat because it's the forbidden fruit.
Yeah,
and if you give them unlimited access, especially the first night, and they get a stomach ache, let them feel the stomach ache. That's, hey, stop jumping on the couch. All right, just let him jump on the couch. When he falls off, he's going to realize jumping on the couch is dangerous after he hits his head.
I would say this is what happened last night, and it was evident because we were all awake until about 11:40. And
Eating.
Tummy aches?
well, we weren't eating, but like, I mean, so
No, the kids.
yeah, the kids, and all their candies in their room. We didn't even talk about it. Like, you can have whatever, we don't care. Like, do your thing. But I'm being honest. Do you ever remember having a stomach ache as a kid? Because I really don't.
I definitely do. I remember throwing up once.
Maybe I had an iron stomach. I swear
Same.
I could have eaten 500 Three Musketeers. It wouldn't have touched me. Wouldn't have phased me.
Never.
I don't think everybody gets a stomach ache from sugar. I would now, but as a kid, I was too many Dr. Peppers per day in to be that affected by sugar, I think.
Well, my problem was I had the candy, and then my uncle had made deer jerky, and so I kept eating that all night as well.
Well,
For some reason, those
your
two
typical
together-
kid is not going to have deer jerky on top.
Yeah,
Not
I think
go so
maybe
great.
we'll go with the wild game had something
Yeah,
to do
maybe.
with your tummy ache versus.
I just remember
Versus
that.
one
It
too
was a
many
rough
Snickers.
Night.
Yeah,
Rough night.
could have been that.
Listen,
I
this
also
diet,
had some clam chowder. What were you eating on Halloween?
yeah, raw oysters. What?
Yeah.
Dude, Mallory made 2 tables worth. We had the entire island full of food, chili, buffalo dip, like all sorts of stuff. And then we had another table of her and my stepdaughter made desserts. I'm talking everything. Cake pops.
Why desserts?
Icing
Nobody
things.
eats desserts on Halloween.
Well, there's like little desserts and the wrapping, or you
You're
can have
literally
it there.
going out for sweets.
Well, yeah, but the whole family was over. So like all the adults, none of the adults are eating candy. We were all eating everything that they made. And it was amazing. So it was kind of one of those nights where it's like there are no rules. We're just enjoying ourselves.
Well, and this dietitian says hiding or rationing your candy makes it seem like, the candy is a bad food, or, being that it's off limits. If you find yourself yelling at your kids for eating too much candy, they're going to continue to do so, often in secret and hiding.
That's it.
Hiding out of fear it's going to be taken away, so they're going to be sneaky.
Yeah.
That's good.
And eating in secret could manifest as, into something else later on down the road.
I can see that.
Okay.
I'm just listening. A little something for the kids from your Uncle Rizz.
The only rule that we have, I think, is that a few days after, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, we would say, hey, wherever your candy is, we just don't want it in the rooms. That's how you get bugs. So bring it on down, and we have everybody dump their candy in a giant bucket.
Yeah, and that's what we used to do too. Like you dump it in the big cauldron.
In the big cauldron, yeah, and it stays in the pantry. And when you want candy, just come down and
Right.
eat it here, and put the wrapper in the kitchen.
Don't make me find wrappers in your room.
Yeah,
then
kitchen
then I
trash.
got mad.
That's the only thing that we care about. Is like, just don't be sneaking this crap and stuffing wrappers into the basement couch.
All right, let's see how well you know your candies. Members of the Rizz Show, I'm going to read you some ingredients. I'm going to read you the ingredients.
Oh
in
no,
candy.
I don't know if we're gonna be good at this.
I'm going to read you the ingredients in some popular Halloween candies.
Okay.
And you are going to tell me what you think the candy is. Okay? Everybody pay attention. Rafe?
I'm listening.
All right, here we go. Sugar, corn syrup, salt, sesame oil, honey, artificial flavor, food colorings, gelatin, and confectioner's glaze. What is that?
Candy
Bit of honey.
corn.
So you say bit of honey?
Candy corn?
Oh, God. 90% of candy.
Sugar, corn syrup, salt, sesame oil, honey, artificial flavor, food colorings, gelatin, and confectioner's glaze.
Gelatin. Oh, that's a gummy bear.
Gummy bear.
No honey. There's no honey in gummy bears, right?
Well, sweet. Maybe there. I didn't know they'd actually use that for sweetener.
Come on, I need an answer.
It's a
I'm
Chinese.
sticking
honey
with
that's-
mine.
My first thought was the same as Moon, so I'll say Bit-O honey.
Bit o' honey, bit o' honey.
I'll take gummy bear. You take Bit-O honey.
All right. Well, one of you is right. King Scott, yes.
Wait, what did
corn.
you?
Candy
That's
corn.
candy corn.
Yeah,
There's
it
honey in
sounds
candy
like it.
corn.
Yeah.
I like candy corn.
Yeah. Well, it's neat. There's honey in it.
All right, here we go. Milk chocolate, peanuts, sugar, dextrose, vegetable oil, hydrogenated vegetable oil, salt, citric acid, something called PGPR, and TBHQ.
TCBY. Man,
Can you go through this?
where do we
again?
even
The-
start
Milk
with
chocolate,
this?
peanuts, sugar, dextrose, vegetable oil, hydrogenated vegetable oil, salt, PGPR, TBHQ, and citric acid.
It sounds just like Hershey's with almonds. Or you said peanuts.
Yeah.
Peanuts. It can't be M&Ms because they use shellac,
No.
right? Or did they stop using shellac from the beetle?
I think they quit using it.
They did.
Yeah.
Well, then I guess I'll
Maybe
go
I'm wrong.
peanut M&M
Peanut M&Ms.
Oh boy.
because I have no better guess.
Does Snickers have any of that in it?
Snickers has a caramel in it. Though.
Yeah, but is that a?
Oh, is that a combination of all this
Chemical, or
other
is it
crap?
I need an answer. Just give
I'm
me
gonna
an
go
answer.
Snickers.
Snickers.
I was going to say, so I'll say Snickers as well.
Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh, you threw us off there.
No peanut butter?
No, just peanuts.
Just
I guess.
peanuts. Sugar, invert sugar, corn syrup, modified cornstarch, tartaric acid, citric acid, natural and artificial flavors, yellow 6, red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1.
No peanut butter and peanut butter cups. Mind blown.
Well, I mean, it's peanuts that eventually become peanut butter.
Yeah, but
I thought it was.
it sounds
they
like
sell
it's
us
not.
peanut butter.
It
Yeah,
sounds
those are
like
two
it's-
different animals to us.
But they sell the peanut butter. That's funny.
Okay,
They
say
don't do
again.
it.
Say again.
Sugar, invert sugar, corn syrup, modified cornstarch, tartaric acid, citric acid, natural and artificial flavor, yellow 6, red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1.
Show me
got it.
Jolly Rancher.
Jolly Ranchers.
Starburst.
Starburst.
Ooh, good guess. I'm going to say Mike and Ike's.
Sour Patch Kids.
Oh.
Tootin' darnits.
And Mike and Ike's is a carnauba wax.
Yeah.
I'm for real.
Sugar, cocoa butter, chocolate, skim milk, milk fat, lactose, soy lecithin, salt, natural and artificial flavors, real peanuts, cornstarch, palm oil, corn syrup, dextrin, carnauba wax.
Carnauba wax. Peanuts and carnauba wax? Wow, this is the hardest one. What the heck? Carnauba wax
Carnauba
and peanuts.
wax.
I was because first the first half of the list just sounded like a Hershey bar, but then you throw in peanuts, real peanuts. He says.
Real peanuts. It's listed. Ingredients are listed as real peanuts.
Oh my gosh! Can you give us one color on the wrapper, please?
Brown.
So it's got to be a chocolate bar.
Brown.
And what was it? What was the last ingredient that we were confused?
Carnauba wax.
Carnauba wax. What the heck? What's a peanut filled candy bar? Like what's
There's a Hershey's one, right? That
Hershey's and peanuts?
Yellow
But that would
also.
be milk
There's
chocolate.
yellow also on the wrapper.
Peanut M&M's.
Yellow
that's
also
my
on the wrapper.
guess.
yeah, I think that's probably the.
Brown and yellow.
I think the carnauba wax is the shellac, you aforementioned shellac.
Oh, you think so?
That's what I think, yep.
I have no guess.
I'll go peanut M&M.
Show me peanut M&Ms. Yes.
Oh,
right.
nice.
Carnauba wax.
Who knew?
Carnauba.
All right, one more here.
Is that also what they put in, like, car wax?
Yes.
Carnauba wax?
Wow.
Right?
Same
Isn't that-
thing?
Is it really?
Is that what's the
See here.
What's the diff?
Oh no,
Or is
man.
that what they use on surfboards? What do they use on a surfboard?
what's the wax
Foot
with
wax.
the turtle?
Turtle wax.
Turtle wax.
Turtle.
I like turtles. I like wax.
I like turtle wax.
All right, one more here. Milk chocolate, corn syrup, sugar, palm oil, skim milk, milk fat, cocoa powder processed with alkali, barley malt extract, lactose, salt, egg whites, chocolate, and artificial flavor.
Show me Whopper.
Whopper.
Whoa. It's a good. Can I hear it one more time? Because there's
Milk chocolate, corn syrup, sugar, palm oil, skim milk, milk fat, cocoa powder processed with alkali, barley malt extract, lactose, salt, egg whites, chocolate, and artificial flavor.
I feel like that barley milk thing and
the
something else
barley
just puts me straight into Whoppers.
Egg whites.
Egg whites.
and egg whites. Man.
Malted milk balls. It's a good guess.
Yeah, that is a very good guess.
Gotta
I
be.
will say that is not malted milk balls. It
Okay.
is a very popular candy.
It's not malted milk. It's not. You mean what? It's not Whoppers.
Whoppers, no.
Does it become a...
Whoppers are malted milk balls, right?
I thought so.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
I get them
it's not
confused too. Because wait, what's the? Oh, Milk Duds.
Yeah.
What are Milk Duds? What
Same thing,
are
right?
Milk Duds? Same thing. No way. They're like a weird chewy.
Oh, you're right.
Bullet.
Milk Duds
Yeah.
are just chocolate caramel.
Is that caramel? It's a weird. It's
Yeah.
a much thicker thing than caramel.
Like barley. Lactose.
Give me an answer.
No, it's not milk.
I'm going to go
He's throwing us off.
Yeah.
traditional Hershey's.
Hershey's.
That's what I was going to say. I was actually thinking of the Hershey's Kiss variety.
No.
That's good.
Were we on the same? One color of the wrapper, please.
Trying to think what it is.
Picnic.
Or is this what nougat is made out of?
Yeah, I wondered that.
Nougat.
No, because I think it
Brown.
brown again. Golly,
Very
maybe
cool.
Ruth is
Milky
out.
Way.
Show me Milky Way. Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, I think we're talking.
Milk. Duh. It's not really in the title. Oh. We're
I think
idiots.
we're talking nougat, right? What's Milky Way is nougat?
No, Three Musketeers is
Three
nougat.
Musketeers is nougat. Okay.
Which, by the way, I didn't realize was so polarizing. I mean,
Three Musketeers?
yeah, or just nougat in general. Man, you give me a Three Musketeers as a kid, I was just
It was
in
like
pure
the
heaven.
fancy one.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the moments where I was like, man, I'm glad to be alive right now. This is such a good thing. But now when I eat it, dude, it's nothing but aftertaste. The texture is phenomenal, but you haven't even chewed and swallowed before you have this weird plastic aftertaste.
Well, I hope you had a good Halloween.
Thank you.
It's November 1st. Time to move on. Halloween's in the rearview mirror.
Time to put up Christmas
Time
decorations.
to Yep. Now we're getting the Christmas creep. Here's some stories that I just had for this week. It's Friday, my Friday leftovers. This was probably one of my favorite stories of the past couple months. And now the day of reckoning is here for a lot of people. This is the Chase Bank glitch. Remember this from a couple weeks ago?
Is this the ATM one where people were just getting cash that wasn't in their account?
Yeah, there was a glitch in the ATMs at Chase Bank. And it wasn't all of them, but there were certain ones that were glitching out where you basically could write a check for any amount, deposit it, and without the requisite waiting period, like a normal check waiting for it to clear, you could withdraw the money immediately. So even if I didn't have $40,000 in my bank account, I could have written a check for $40,000, put it in, and it would immediately spit out the money. And what wound up happening was, somebody figured this out, put it up on social media. Next thing you know, there are lines. There are lines to withdraw money from these machines. Now, what do you think is going to happen?
Uh-huh.
This is not Monopoly where it's bank error in your favor, collect $20.
He gets to go to jail.
The bank's going to want their money back.
But I hope these people were smart and they quickly went to casino and doubled it, you know?
I mean, the way they did this is some Chase machines, a lot of people to deposit a check. They wrote to themselves for an amount larger than the balance in their bank account. So it went viral. People were going online bragging. Remember that part of it too?
That always goes well.
I forgot about that. That makes it easy for law enforcement.
They were bragging like, I got $50,000.
$50,000.
Oh, there are a couple cases here where they're in specific Chase is going after. So
$50,000.
here's the wake-up call for a select bunch of people who tried and successfully stole money, essentially, from Chase. Chase Bank has filed 4 different lawsuits against 4 different people or entities that stole massive amounts of money during the time the glitch was discovered. On August 28th and 29th, 2024, This is one of the lawsuits. An individual deposited 2 checks into their account, one for $75,000 and one for $245,000.
Okay. No red flags yet.
After the checks were deposited, defendant began transferring substantial amounts of those ill-gotten funds out of its account. The checks were eventually returned as counterfeit, resulting in a substantial negative balance.
Hey, a lot of these people that are doing big number stuff that like think that this could work or even know how to do this, they may have just held on to it and said like, well, I'm just going to hold it until they rip it from my hands, kind of thing. This is probably what this is, which sucks because now it's costing the bank more money to then get their money, and then that's going to get rolled over into something.
One guy took out $91,000. Another person took out $141,000.
I mean, that's so much money that somebody that knows how to do that and scam that way, you would assume probably didn't just run out and put it on the horses or something.
Well, in this particular case, or in these particular cases, they didn't take the physical money. Like no ATM is going to have $141,000 in
right,
it.
and they have limits.
It would just hit their account, and they would just then transfer it out.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Which takes a bit of, I mean, not genius in any way, but I'm just saying it takes a bit of thinking. So let's presume that they're probably not just taking that straight and going right down to Lumiere and saying, you know, 141,000 on red. They're probably holding on to it and being like, well, I'm just going to hold this in my Swiss bank account or whatever.
And see what happens.
Yeah, and until they fight and rip it from me.
Somebody stole $290,000.
These people are silly. They should have found one that's near, like, again, go back to the casino. They find one near the casino. You take $5,000 out, go try to double. If you lose it, you just go get $5 more grand.
That's it.
You just keep doing it till you
Keep
hit.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Till you beat
that's
the
how
house.
you do it. Smart.
The bank's always going to get their money, and these 4 particular people, again, 75, 245,000, 141,000, 90,000, 290,000.
Wow, that's
These 4 people did not think this one through, and now are facing some hefty charges from a major corporation with the backing of endless money to take down
yeah, man.
you.
And can you lose your ability to be able to use a bank?
Oh, you get
you are not allowed,
blacklisted?
like you are not allowed to have an account
Yeah.
at all.
I wonder if they can blacklist people.
No, because what else other than robbery, which is this, a glitch robbery? What else could they do?
Well, if Chase goes, you're never allowed to have an account with us again.
Yeah, I'm sure Chase will.
Then you
but
go to
he-
Bank of
you
America.
just go to
yeah,
Wells
it's-
Fargo.
yeah. I mean, who's going to deny taking your money to make money off of you? That's not. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, so those people are in pretty big trouble. Now, there's this guy. What would you do if you're the judge here? In contrast to most convicted felons, who are able to write a letter to the judge that's going to sentence you, this guy's name is Terry Meach. He didn't plead for leniency. He's a bank robber, and he's robbed multiple banks. He did not plead for leniency before he was sentenced last week. He pleaded for more prison time. He wrote, "I like to be in prison, and please, could you consider giving me the max for the most time so I could get back to my normal life in a controlled environment?" I read this, and I was like, man, this is kind of sad. That this guy cannot be a functioning member of society, that he can only function when he's in prison. I guess he's been in there so long.
It's Brooks, dude.
Yep.
Brooks was here. You know what I'm talking about, right? Shawshank?
Yeah.
Brooks, and that's one of the saddest narratives I've ever heard is when he's out and he's like, the world went and got itself in a big damn hurry. Because remember when he went in, there weren't cars like that, and there was cars. He almost got hit in the street, and then he asked his boss at the grocery store if he can go to the bathroom. Like, dude, you don't need to ask permission. And he's like, I can't squeeze a drop unless I ask for permission.
Well, he was so he pleaded guilty to 3 counts of bank robbery. Was begging the judge to give him the max sentence on all 3 counts.
What's that called? Institutionalized?
Yeah. So the judge did not give Terry all that he wanted. He only gave him 20 years for one of the counts. He wanted 60 years. He only got 20 years. He said in his letter to the judge, "Prison keeps me from my own self-destruction, keeps the outside community safer. I know I'm going to mess up again. I always have the same results, 100% truth. I love the life I live in prison. I made a family, good jobs. Please understand me. I know right from wrong, and I'm not crazy at all. I just know myself better than anyone else does."
Wow, you know what? That's commendable. That's pretty amazing, too. This isn't one of those, like, I just don't know how to live out here. This guy is saying, I am trouble, and I know myself, and I will cause more trouble. This doesn't sound real.
Well, he was doing a good game of maybe reverse psychology, where he's like, if you put me in for that long, it'll help me out. And the judge is like, you want to?
No, this is supposed to be a
miserable
punishment
for you to be outside in the public.
This is supposed to be a punishment.
Yeah,
no, you're
you
not
gotta
going
stay
to prison.
home.
No, he went into federal prison back in 2012 after pleading guilty to robbing a bank in Fort Lauderdale. Robbed 2 banks. Then just 10 days out of prison in 2016, robbed another bank. So sentenced to 8 years. He was released on February 9th. 2 weeks later, strolled into a bank wearing a black head covering, makeup, told the teller he wanted money, had a gun, teller handed over cash.
Is it like an adrenaline addiction?
I don't know. The next day, he was recognized by a Circle K employee as the guy that robbed the bank the day before, called the cops. He goes up to the cops and says, hey, I was the guy that robbed the bank yesterday. I stole $4,000, take me to prison. The cop's like, nah.
That's unlikely.
Nah.
That you would be confessing this. He'd
Nah.
pick up snowboarding or something, man.
He said he'd been trying to turn himself in all day, but nobody would take him.
What? That's awesome.
Dude.
Do you think that helped with his time?
Cops couldn't find any outstanding warrants on him, so they told him to leave. Like, get out of here. He says, if you don't take me in today, I'm going to rob another bank. 2 days later, he robbed another bank.
Oh, man.
So if you're the judge, do you just lock him away?
Man, I feel like someone that honest and stuff, you need to put him with a person that's a great counselor. And just let him live with that.
Maybe he just is like a really bad cook and is like, you know what? In here, these people are making
3 hots and a cot.
3 meals, dude. I don't want to go home and try that craft box thing again.
3 hots and a cot.
He's getting free meals.
So that's down in Florida. This one comes to us from Pennsylvania. There was a plumbing issue at a casino. Created a pretty messy situation for one woman. A woman's playing the slots at this casino called Live Casino. It's at the Westmoreland Mall. That's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So this was July 20th. She's playing the slots when an overhead pipe burst, drenching her in fecal matter.
Jackpot.
It's raining poo.
Drenching her in fecal matter. She is now suing, arguing that the experience has left her mentally damaged and she had to be hospitalized for a couple weeks. I like in the article they say drenched in fecal matter. The lawsuit alleges that she contracted a serious illness, was in the hospital for 15 days. Her lawyer says she didn't know what had happened to her, but it didn't take long for her to figure out it smelled pretty bad. A couple of days later, she ended up in a hospital with bacterial pneumonia. Very traumatizing. She could have died. So the National Institutes of Health reports that bacterial pneumonia can cause fever, cough, dyspnea, which is a sensation of running out of air and not being able to breathe fast enough or deeply enough.
Oh, my goodness.
Some of the potential complications include necrotizing pneumonia, meningitis, sepsis, multiple organ failure.
Dude, that's a new fear. That whatever that die something or other.
Dyspnea.
When you have the thought that you can't breathe or can't breathe deep enough. It reminds me of that thing that I seen going around recently where it's a disease or something that makes you technically afraid of water.
Oh, that's rabies.
Oh yeah, you can't drink it,
and you can't, and people like start convulsing and freaking
Rabies.
out when they're trying to take a drink.
That's if you are infected with rabies, like when it gets to the point where they can't cure you anymore, you are afraid of water.
And afraid of water, yeah, and not like the aliens from the Shamalama Ding Dong movie. It's more. They say that they're afraid of water because when they swallow, they choke. And they do it enough times, and their brain basically sets off an alarm where they see water and they start to.
I went down a rabbit hole.
They can't breathe
on YouTube of watching videos of people who are infected with rabies, and it's the saddest thing.
Is that why it's popping up on my dude? Whatever it happened, whatever.
I don't know, man.
Whatever reason, there was like 4 cases where I just kept seeing videos of that, and I was like, "Good
They're
God!"
trying to give them water. They're scared of it. It's one of the symptoms.
And can't drink it.
Yeah. So this woman, so she's drenched. She's playing the slots at the casino. Overhead pipe bursts. drenched in feces. How much should she get?
Crap ton.
$1 million? $1 million cover it? $1 million? $2 mil?
Crap load. Tax free?
Yeah, listen, lawsuit. She's only looking for $30,000. And if I were the casino, I'd go, yep.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah,
Here you go.
I thought she, like, in her mind, this should have been the jackpot. Like,
Nope.
It's the same thing as winning on the slot machine. You just won.
Nope, $30,000.
She almost 30 grand.
Just that's it.
And the lawyer fees.
And the lawyer
And do you
fees.
take it in chips? Will you take it in chips?
Yeah,
If I were the casino, I'd be like, here, $30,000. That's it.
We'll give you
Fine.
free room, too, one night. Would you guys take some sewage dripping on you for a while?
For $30,000?
For $1 million.
Well, am I guaranteed? What do you mean? Like, and run the risk of bacterial pneumonia and all this crap?
For $1 million.
We just heard this. We heard the negative side effects of it. What's the positive side effect? There's got to be something.
Is there any superpowers I can glean from this? For $30,000, will I take sewage leaking on me?
$30,000 seems.
And hey, don't
30
forget,
grand's one thing.
I know this seems strange, and maybe sewage is sewage, but casino sewage. You know, people have been given
there's
getting
buffets there.
free drinks, and it's buffet food, and there's a lot of overnight stuff. Who knows how
Yeah.
long that's sitting in those pipes? Casino sewage is a different game.
And if it's Monday, all that old seafood.
$1 million. $1 million.
You take a meal?
Yeah, probably.
I think
Tax free. Straight up right into the account.
get to hang out at the hospital for a couple of days.
I think I would too. But are we talking about like carry? Are we talking about double dare? Or
They said drenched. They used the word drenched.
But you know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between getting double dared and just, I don't know,
Swimming.
splashed.
Drenched in fecal matter.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's not sprayed. That's not pelted.
Oh, it's apparently dyspina.
You got a what?
Anybody want the Dispina?
Dyspina. That's the.
It's made of
I was
carnauba
pronouncing
wax.
it wrong. Dyspina. Oh, whatever.
Stop rhyming. I mean it. Anybody want a Dispina?
Well, another headline. Speaking of fecal matter, headline: Flight attendant reveals disgusting reason why you should never use toilet paper on airplane.
Oh,
Yes.
I could guarantee you why.
Just leave the poop in your butt.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's got to be because, first of all, there's no sitting water, obviously, because everything's moving. So there's no sitting water. You're basically just you're peeing into a giant funnel with the little hole, you know.
Yeah.
And it's very splashy in there. And where do they put the toilet paper? As low and silly as possible, as close to the freaking toilet. So I guarantee you, people are just stand peeing and splashing all over that thing. It's probably just a soaked roll.
Yeah. I bet there's some blowback on the suck flush, too.
Yeah, well, that's
People
what
don't
they
close
say
the
here.
lid.
Yeah, you're supposed to close before you flush
And
it.
I know one does.
Nobody does. This one flight attendant, she says it's best to avoid wiping with the tissue offered in the plane's bathroom. The roll of disposable squares often covered in human waste. She says don't use the toilet paper. It's got men's pee-pee on it because they don't know how to control that thing.
Exactly. Exactly. And why not put it higher? It's in the weirdest place.
They say this one woman's been a flight attendant for 5 years. She recently revealed the filthiest surfaces on an airplane, which include the window shades, seatbelt straps, overhead bins, and, of course, toilet seats. She says, once in my career, I've seen the toilet seats get cleaned off. Only once. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. She says sometimes in the bathroom there's going to be blood on the floor, on the toilet, on the walls, feces and urine on top of the toilet.
I mean, she would know better than us, but
Golly.
I don't think I've
Which airline is she on?
I've never seen blood. I've never seen blood on an airplane.
What airline is
Well,
this?
that's not true. I saw one
We all
person
know it's
get a
Spirit.
nosebleed.
No, but think about it. You're trying to aim on a plane.
It's not that tough.
You have
Are
to
you
do
pissing
this.
blood? What's going
No,
on?
no, no. I mean, I'm just talking about the pee-pee.
Oh, yeah.
You got to do
Yeah,
this.
you do the
you put
lean
one
and-
arm up, you know, and you
And
close,
you lean forward.
and you close a hand.
like the
no,
bus.
you don't lean forward because then you can slide because that's at an angle.
I'll lean forward.
No, you lean both your feet. You spread your feet like this, and you grip the walls with the edges of your feet, and then you put the one
Sometimes
arm
the
up
handle,
here.
too. There's sometimes the handicap handle. Do not take your stanky-ass shoes off
Ugh.
Thank you.
If you do, you better not walk into the bathroom in your bare socks or on your bare little piggy toes. She says there's pee-pee on the ground everywhere. Leave your
Everywhere.
shoes on,
And you can
sickos.
see it. You can see it. No one would go in there barefoot. That's the dumbest. You're dumb.
She's also reminding people to don't use the flight attendant galley as your own personal yoga stretching studio.
They do, though.
Well, where am I supposed to do that?
Yeah.
If it's an international flight, you literally just showed me a video about deep vein thrombosis. What am I supposed to do?
Uh-oh, we hit a nerve. Do you
Are you doing
on
yoga in the
planes,
galley?
too?
No,
Are you a
but
yoga on a plane guy?
no, but
Stretch.
at this age,
Are you devil advocating?
I'm devil advocating just because
Okay.
I've seen people do that, and like I understand it, and especially like older folks, man. Like that, you do a 14-hour flight, 18-hour flight, you got to get up and move a little bit.
Yeah, but there are people that do it within 4 minutes of takeoff.
Okay,
That's right.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, down dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You're just going to Cleveland.
Yeah, well, I mean, on those
You're going from St. Louis to Cleveland. You'll be all right.
on those overseas flights, you're usually on something pretty big, and there's some room.
That makes sense.
Now, speaking of shoes, there are a few subtle differences between working from home and you going to the office, right? The big one is to go to the office, you need to get dressed. But also, can you kick off your shoes at work? There's a debate on social media whether it's cool to take your shoes off and walk around in your socks at the office.
I don't know, man.
I think it depends on your office.
No, you should not do this.
It does.
We're trying to maintain a professional atmosphere here.
We used to work with people that would walk around barefoot.
Certain air personalities, and they're disgusting.
Yeah.
Some people have noticed it happening more after the pandemic as part of several ways people are still acting like they were at home. Naturally, most of the comments were for people who are for it, against it.
For it.
Against it.
Okay.
Just like how people react when there are debates about taking your shoes off during a flight or in a ride share. But some people wondered what the big deal is. One person's like, I change my socks daily. And they get washed between wears.
What? Duh. What do you mean wash between wears? Who takes the sock off and puts it back on?
They're saying it's cleaner for them to walk around in their socks because nobody cleans off their shoe soles. You walk around outside, bringing the outside inside.
Yes, and that is the agreed upon. That's the agreement here in society, is we wear our shoes, and yes, they do track the outside crap inside, and that's why we all are wearing shoes. That's how it goes.
We'll compromise. If you're at your desk and your feet are under your desk, fine.
Honestly, I don't care, because it's your feet that are going to get the weird infections. It's your socks that you're going to have to replace far more because of the wear and the nasty and the dirts and the whatever. And it's your toes that you're putting at risk for the all-evil toe stub. You're the silly one. It means it has nothing to do with me. You keep your freedom.
Rafe, is it
That's
okay
silly.
to walk around in your socks at the office?
I'm going to give a hard no on that. Hard no.
As long as I can't smell it.
Wow.
I think you're crazy, and you should.
We
be
need to
allowed be
maintain a
crazy.
professional atmosphere around here.
There has to be a layer of something that your foot sweat, bacteria, and odor cannot permeate between your foot and the floor. I think that is a good rule. And the sock don't do that. You can, if
Air
you got
does.
sweaty feet, you're walking around with socks, your little sweaty foot sweat's getting on the carpet, getting on everybody else. No, thank you.
Imagine Budweiser coming in here. You got our fine Hubbard sales folks ready to close the big deal.
Yeah.
And they're meeting in a conference room, and the Budweiser execs are in the conference room. And you got the Hubbard salespeople walking in with socks on. Get out of here. That deal's not getting signed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's next?
What if Budweiser came in their socks and everybody's
Well, they are actually, the Budweiser now is a Brazilian company, InBev, and they do. That
Belgian.
culture's got real weird.
Belgian, I believe.
Belgian. Are they Belgian?
Yeah.
They were Brazilian
I think you may be
when
right.
they first came in because they were doing
Brazilian?
They were encouraging. They were walking around barefoot and doing like drum circle music and stuff in the lunchroom. And all these engineers at Budweiser, when they first got bought out, are like,
What's
"What the
going
hell
on
is
here?"
going on around here?"
Okay, so
Well, it is-
InBev is Belgian. Ambev was Brazilian. But that was in 2004.
So they merged.
Right, yeah, when the first
Yeah,
when the
right,
buyout
right,
first.
yeah.
The buyout first. Anyway,
So everybody's right.
listen, put your
But I'm
shoes
saying
on.
they had that culture at Anheuser. They did not like it.
No way.
Everybody's learning what, capoeira? Is that what they do?
Yeah.
That's the
Banana way.
that's the
Banana
dance
way, sell
karate,
some
like
beer.
with the flips and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Put your shoes on. This is a place of business, okay? It just shouldn't even be a question. In fact, go to your boss and ask. You're going to be fired. Can we take our shoes off? No, you can't. Yes, it's that time of year again. Daylight saving time ends early Sunday morning when 2 a.m. becomes 1 a.m. So, yes, we're falling back on Sunday. Who's looking forward to it?
Oh, me.
Are you?
Yeah, man. I'm really tired. It was a late night last night. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
To the extra hour of sleep? Well, in a new poll, 28% of people say they're not looking forward to it, even though we're all gaining an hour. I'm of the 41%. I don't really care.
I mean,
Moon's in the 23% of people that are really looking forward to it, which goes to show some people like the darker evenings of fall and winter.
oh, that's what people are thinking about. Okay, yeah. No, I'm not thinking past the extra hour of sleep. Do I want the dark earlier? No, I think it sucks. It sucks for the kids, especially because, like we're doing a lot of outside stuff. We're throwing the football a lot, and it's going to suck to have to go inside sooner. But for us, to get up super early for that short while before the solstice, like we get a little bit more daylight in the early hours, and I kind of appreciate that.
It's not bad.
Still, 63% of people say they'd like to see the clock changing twice a year abolished, and only 17% say they like it and would not be in favor of a change. 20% of people don't care, and they're probably sick of debating it. And a lot of us are like, hey, federal government, let's decide on a plan and have everybody do the same thing, even if it's, let's just figure this out.
Wasn't that proposed?
They do it every year. They always promise, like, I think this is the year we're going to finally take care of.
No, but I think there was some sort of proposal, actually, something that was put.
I thought they were debating it. The 35% of people think individual states should be able to choose what they want to do, whether it's changing the clocks, not changing the clocks, and if not, which time they could lock into, daylight saving or standard time, which I'm against that.
Yeah, can we not do that? That's so obnoxious. There's a few times, there's a few places in Arizona that they don't observe that. So a lot of times when I'm calling home, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's such and such time there. And they're like, no, it's not. I'm like, oh, yeah.
I mean, can you imagine every state doing something different?
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Can you imagine every state voting to do something different? Talk about confusing. Why stop there? Let just every city pick their preferred time. Or, screw it, let every person choose whatever they want their time to be.
Tulsa time.
Yeah.
That's Don Williams reference.
Yes.
Tulsa time?
Got to do one a week. No one knows but us.
Yeah, that's stupid, man. I mean, come on. Pick it and go. All of us got to deal with it.
Right.
Is it Arizona or is it Phoenix?
It's Arizona and Hawaii.
Yeah.
Arizona and Hawaii don't change.
All of the
Parts
state
of
of
Indiana
Arizona.
that don't.
I think
Parts of
Festus-
Arizona.
Festus, maybe.
I believe there's parts of Indiana, too. 'Cause
Really?
I've been caught in this vortex.
Yeah, and it's absurd.
And Indiana's already split. So there's parts of Indiana, it splits a time zone.
Right, Central Time Zone at Eastern.
And then there's certain parts of Indiana that don't ever change.
Yeah, somebody in their socks in their office is going to miss a meeting.
Right, we don't want that. And finally, it officially is November, so we've got only 2 months left in 2024, which is crazy to think about. So here are some things to look forward to in the month of November. Daylight saving time ends Sunday. We gain an hour of sleep Saturday night. Don't waste it. Election day, Tuesday. We may not know who wins on election night, but we should at least be done with the campaigning and commercials. In sports, new NBA season is just getting started. The MLS, the soccer playoffs are underway. NASCAR Cup Series championship goes down November 10th. And the boxing match between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson will stream on Netflix on November 15th. Does anybody care about this anymore?
You were going to have a party.
I know. I've canceled it.
You don't even want
man.
It's free on Netflix now.
I know, but you know what? I was excited. It was going to be it was a summertime thing. Remember, I was going to get the hot dog cart. We're going to be outside.
Yeah, that's right.
I was going to show it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, I'll watch it. But I'm just not that excited.
It's going to be free on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, now I'm
Live,
excited
huh?
to not go anywhere.
Live on Netflix. I just read something about ticket prices are not like if you want to sit ringside, it's going to be $50,000. Fine. But it's not like going to a Super Bowl or a World Series event or a Taylor Swift concert where tickets are insane just to get in. You can find tickets right now for $30.
What?
Oh, good.
Where is
Take a
it?
second
It's in
row.
Arlington. I think it's where the Cowboys play.
Whoa. I didn't realize
Which is
it
a
was
big
in
place.
stadium.
Yeah.
Which is a big place. But that the Tyson Paul fight happens on November 15th, and then, you know, once Tyson pulled out because he was sick, I don't know, it lost a shine a little bit to me.
Yeah, me too. But still,
I kind of
excited.
forgot
I'm still
about
going to
it.
watch.
Hey, come November 13th, I may have a totally different attitude towards it.
Yeah.
The biggest movies hitting theaters this month: Gladiator 2 and Wicked on November 22nd, Moana 2 on the 27th. On TV, Yellowstone back for part 2 of their 5th season. The new comedy series St. Dennis Medical premieres on NBC on the 12th. Part 2 of the 6th season of Cobra Kai hits Netflix the 15th. Dune Prophecy premieres on HBO and Max on the 17th. And the CMA Awards will air live on ABC on November 20th. And then you get the holidays. The big ones: Veterans Day the 11th, Thanksgiving the 28th. Sunday is National Sandwich Day.
This Sunday.
This Sunday is National Sandwich Day.
All right.
We get an extra hour to eat them.
National Happy Hour Day is the 12th. The 13th is World Kindness Day, and Black Friday is on the 29th.
Very cool.
Now, as far
Great
as
month.
National Sandwich Day, since we are a sandwich city,
Oh, yeah.
St. Louis is known as a sandwich city. Now, Subway, Popeyes, and a bunch of other places have deals. Now, a poll looked at the most popular sandwiches in America. Can you guess what the #1 most popular sandwich in America is?
Like a brand or just the way we make it?
Just the
Grilled cheese.
I'm having a blank.
The ingredients.
I'm going to say ham and cheese sandwich.
Okay, so
that's
ham
not
sandwich.
Grilled
Seems
cheese.
like we got a lot of
Cheese.
hillbillies.
PB&J.
Oh, yeah,
I
duh.
think that's it.
Oh,
I feel like I'm going to be upset, but I want to say PB&J.
PB&J
good one.
is the 7th most popular sandwich.
That's good news.
Ham sandwich, the 4th most popular sandwich.
Ooh.
And #1,
Club.
the grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
Grilled cheese is America's favorite sandwich,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
followed by the chicken sandwich, and that includes fried chicken sandwiches, you know, your Chick-fil-A's and your whatnots, your
Right.
Popeyes chicken sandwiches. Then you get your turkey sandwich.
Nice. So far, I'm loving this.
Your tuna sandwich, #5, gross.
Out.
Aw.
Your egg sandwich.
Heck
which
yeah. You can only get those at truck stops. That's
Probably
nice.
your breakfast egg sandwich, or maybe your egg salad sandwich. PB&J 7, your meatball subs 8.
That's a common one?
Really?
Meatball sub, yeah, the
Nobody
8th
gets
most
Such a
popular
cop-out,
sandwich.
dude. I mean,
What are they missing?
I'm sorry?
What are they missing on here?
A head of meatballs? Oh, like probably, so we'll say like BLT.
I think a BLT should be higher.
Uh,
I think you're just Italian combo.
Yeah, I was just saying that's the most common. It's
You
at every
didn't-
grocery store, every gas station, everywhere.
ham and Swiss, you said a 7?
Ham and just a ham sandwich, #4.
#4, okay.
I
I would say I just a roast beef and au jus. Like a roast
Yeah,
beef and
you
dip.
Roast
that'd
beef
be-
sandwich,
Or
okay.
a French dip, shall we say. I think a French dip should be well ahead of
freedom dip, please.
of that other one.
The average American eats 6 sandwiches a week.
Hell yeah.
6 sandwiches a week. That's over 300 sandwiches a year.
I don't sandwich on Shabbos.
Sandwiches make up around 30% of the average person's diet.
I mean,
Oh boy, it's an easy
That's
meal.
wild.
Dude, what's the one? What's the one with pickles and
The Cuban?
Cuban? Dude,
Cuban bee. I love those.
I have been having some Cuban bees recently. Like anytime I go to a place and they kind of highlight a Cuban, I don't know what's drawn me to that because that's never been my thing.
Here we go. Here's your Cuban sandwich. It is your ham, Swiss. It is your pork. Then you got your pickle, and then you have your yellow mustard. and then it's pressed. It's pressed.
And don't be sneaking any
pickles.
Dijon on that, especially without telling people.
It's specifically a yellow,
Okay, good.
like your French's yellow mustard.
I forget where I was, but wherever I was, it kind of jumped off the page, and I was like, yeah, I guess I'll try this.
Hell yeah,
And again,
man.
I've never been a Cuban guy, but dude, those sandwiches are
So good.
phenomenal.
Dude,
Holy
I
crud.
shouldn't have looked. They look way too good.
So how was a Cuban, what did you say was number 7 or number 8 that I
8 was
objected
meatball
to?
sub.
Meatball sub. Ha! Get out of here. Like that.
New Yorkers eat.
That's just a repurposing of like ingredients. And I like a meatball sub.
How about a Reuben? Reuben's good.
What's a Reuben?
It's corned beef,
Yeah, that one's
sauerkraut,
Okay, yeah.
and Swiss.
I respect
no,
it.
Rafe?
It's me doing the Drake meme.
Yeah, I respect
No?
it, but no thank you.
On rye. I love a good
Man, I
Reuben.
love it.
Sauerkraut, I'm out.
Yeah, me too. And rye's the only thing that makes it respectable, and I respect you.
Swiss, sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut's good for the gut biome, by the way.
Well,
Sauerkraut.
Listen, when I'm eating sandwiches, I'm not looking for any health.
Yeah.
Health benefits. Come on.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
It might not.
Yeah, it's
excuse me, is this 6-foot party sub biome friendly?
Yeah, what is this? What is sauerkraut again? Is it cabbage dripped in
fermented
vinegar or
cabbage.
some crap?
It's
fermented cabbage.
Cabbage, and it is.
It's good. I love cabbage.
It's delicious.
I love sauerkraut. On a hot dog, or Reuben.
Or by itself.
How did like a hamburger not make?
It didn't.
It's like a cheeseburger.
46% of people said they could only eat 46% said they could eat only sandwiches for the rest of their life. It would not be a big deal.
Or what about a melt, like a smash burger with some sort of melt cheese on it?
You know what? They didn't. I don't think they put hamburgers on this.
Oh, okay, but still, a melt with toasted melt with the Thousand Island and the pickles.
Like a patty melt?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's more of a hamburger.
A patty melt is not a hamburger. That's a
I
sandwich.
mean, it's usually a hamburger patty.
But you can't declassify it as a sandwich. I mean,
Why do we like sandwiches so much? Easy to customize, different ingredients. They don't require much cooking.
We like bread.
We love bread.
we like bread.
The most critical components of a good sandwich: high quality meat, good bread, the right condiments, and fresh veggies. Now, how do you cut your sandwich? Now, if you were having a sandwich on white bread or rye, are you cutting it down the middle or diagonal?
I don't cut it because I'm in a rush and I'm always in a hurry and I always think it's a waste of time. But anytime somebody cuts it for me and it's diagonally, I am 50 times happier.
I never think to cut it diagonally. I always cut it down the middle.
You do? I don't even
Always.
Well, why take the time and waste the knife when you're cutting it yourself? When you make yourself a sandwich, it's just you in the house. Rizz is alone. Oh, I'm going to make a sandwich.
I'll cut it in half.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll cut it in half. What does America say? How does America cut their sandwiches?
In half.
They probably do in half, although they're going to say they do it diagonal.
Yeah, they should do it diagonal.
32% cut it in half, 35% diagonal, and 33% leave it intact.
I mean, if you're dipping and you don't do diagonal, then you're just an amateur.
Listen, happy National Sandwich Day, everybody, on Sunday. So have yourself a good old-fashioned meatball sub.
Are you a dipper? You like dipping
hamburgers
sandwiches?
on there, but meatball
I mean, depending on
works.
what am I dipping it in? I mean, if it's a French dip, I'm dipping in the au jus.
Whatever's appropriate, though. Like anytime there's an opportunity to dip a sandwich, it makes me
If it's
happy.
grilled cheese and tomato soup, it's fine. I'll do that. But I'm not dipping just to dip.
Like French dip, you don't do that.
No, I will. If it's a French dip sandwich, yes.
But like a bread coat, like it doesn't matter what I'm getting. If I'm in the mood for a sandwich, I have to get the you pick two so I can dip it in some sort of soup.
No.
Oh,
good.
I don't know why. I just like the wet bread, man.
do
Give me
it.
some wet bread, baby.
Do it.
Oh, Lord.
I'll do it. All right, now this. All right, that's brought to us by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill. Score $1 Hot Shots Tacos, and the Blues score 5. Well, thank you, Angela. Angela Borsick from Waterloo is our team.
Thank you,
Rizz
Angela.
Member of the day. Get super sweet Team Rizz Member of the Day soccer jersey. Get yourself signed up 1057thepoint.com/Team Rizz. All right, we'll take our first break in the morning. We'll come back. We'll crown the official Craigslist Freak of the Week. We'll find out which ad. We'll move on to the semifinals in the Craigslist Freak of the Year competition.
Getting real.
Also, I will let you know what song you're listening for, not just today, but all weekend for your chance to win $1,000 and your chance to co-host the morning show, and then we'll get a crap on celebrities. It is 7:15. It is Friday. Traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Traffic is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. Highways are clear. Your point forecast clear skies, high of 62. Right now it's 42 at the Point Studio.
So here we are, way back Point Fest, and the first band of the day is a band that, through the course of my life, I think I've seen your band 6 times, but we've never chatted and said hello.
It's just strange that wouldn't happen. I know you mentioned Mississippi Nights.
Yeah.
We talked on the phone the other day. And
Yeah.
I remember the club well, We used to have great shows there, but it's like anything these days. Stuff doesn't stay around as long as you would think it would. So.
I remember something specific about this show, and it's a little creepy, so I'm going to go ahead and warn you. So where I was standing at Mississippi Nights, they had the back door open, and I could see directly into your tour bus.
Okay.
And I saw you, this is like right before you guys are going on, and I hadn't ever seen you before till this night, and you had like this black leather jacket on, like these skinny sort of jeans, and I was like, this dude is a bad man. And you were, and it was such a great show because that night it was a couple of different bands. Letters to Cleo were on that bill.
Yeah.
Ned's Atomic Dustbin were on that bill. I love those guys as well. So it was like a cool thing, but it was the first night that I saw you guys, and Vinny, you had this like for real frontman rock star presence about you that I thought was very cool at the time.
You sure put the pressure on me today. Where do you go from there?
Right. But you know what though? And speaking of that role as the frontman is like an important thing, man, because not only the nuts and bolts of the creative side of the music and the lyric writing and stuff, but I mean having that image for the band is an important one, whether you want to kind of admit to that or not.
Oh, certainly. And it's something that we, seem to cultivate early on in the career of the band. We wanted to do that thing. We revere rock and roll, and it almost sounds like I'm just copying Elvis on his '68 comeback. You know what I mean? You can't reinvent the wheel. You know what I mean? It's like that's pretty much it.
Right. I think it's also funny too when you guys say, "Hey, I'm just ripping Elvis. That's all I'm doing." Or you know what I mean? Like when you have another artist that come by, like, "Yeah, well, I'm not that cool. I just got it from this guy." I think it's funny when you guys are the first ones to admit that.
I mean, it's like that's the gold standard, man. You look all the way back, even to the Ed Sullivan years. There's reruns on TV these days all over the place, and you look at that and you're reminded of how cool it was. And to me, like I go, it doesn't get much better than that, and that's why you influence just generations and generations of groups.
You're from an amazing city. You're from an amazing city that has this unbelievable tradition of rock and roll music. You have this city that has this unbelievable tradition of rhythm and blues and soul music. How did that all come together for you as you guys as musicians? Because again, that is a best of all of those world situations, not just good bands, like the best of the best bands.
It's funny you bring it up. We were talking about, Andy and I were talking about the Aretha Franklin's funeral.
Sure.
And of course, Andy, you spotted who's the backup singer gal in that band?
Sandra, yeah.
Right.
She sings backups for her. She sang them, but yeah. Well, a bunch of our friends were in the band,
and
the horn players, and yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. And what struck me was just the incredible group that they had there. Not to mention the choir. I just go, those are, like Andy said, a lot of those guys are our friends.
Yeah.
And what a great talent pool, man.
Absolutely, but I bet you as you're coming up, that only makes you guys better with that kind of deep talent pool.
You would hope, but 2 or 3 vodkas in, I'm not too sure.
Now, last new album from you guys was 2016-ish.
Yeah.
So can I assume that you're probably putting together or working towards something new now? Or are you kind of always working, or how does that go when it comes to new material?
Tell Donnie about the remix of Broke.
Yeah, like there's we're always working on new stuff. Everyone,
Yeah.
Vinny's always writing. He's real prolific. But we're taking one of the songs from that record called Broken and stripping it down, doing a completely different acoustic version. Because this is like, we love the version, but we're like, what if it was done with cellos and sort of this acoustic, whatever. So we shot some video. We're going to try to throw that together and see how it turns out.
Very good. It's always nice how some of those songs have a whole nother life that maybe you don't intend for them to have when you give birth to them,
And women love cellos.
Who would have known? Who would have known?
Hello.
Well, you know what? On that note, I think as George Costanza says, we're leaving on the high note here, everybody. Sponge, backstage, way back Point Fest. Thank you, gentlemen, very much.
Thanks,
All right, very good. That was awesome. Thank you, guys.
So we're here at the Burton House. All right, we're here at the Burton House in Eureka, and I've been talking on the air about how they want to get rid of this almost 100-foot tree, 110-foot tree, something like that. My tree guy, Tom, who's almost 77, is cutting this sucker down with our buddy Ryan. And I got my friend Brad over here helping out. So we're hoping it falls that way, and not that way, or that way, or that way. And I asked him, is it going to go that way? And his wisdom was, that's the plan. So we'll see.
So let's start off with an easy one.
Okay.
You have this incredible career with Everclear.
Right.
Made all of these records. You've had, I would think, multiple opportunities to do like a solo record, but you're going to put out a solo record for seemingly the first time in your career.
For not seemingly the first.
Guys, I'm talking to you. If you're feeling like you lost your edge, if your energy, your focus, or drive isn't what it used to be, it's time to get back on track with Mentality Health. That's Mentality Health, your local experts in testosterone replacement therapy, with 2 locations, one in Chesterfield and one in South County. Now, unlike the online services, Mentality offers in-person consultations with board-certified physicians who have treated over 25,000 men, including myself and including Moon. Safe, effective, tailored to your specific needs, Mentality's treatments help you regain energy and boost mental clarity and enhance your overall performance. From personalized treatment plans to ongoing support, they ensure your journey with them is effective, comfortable, and successful. So if you're feeling tired all the time, it might be more than just stress. Low T could be the issue. If you're struggling to keep off the weight or maintain muscle, testosterone levels could be the culprit. And low T doesn't just affect your body, it can impact your mind too. Irritability, anxiety, even depression, all signs of low T. So visit Mentality today at lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com and get going. It's your first step to reclaiming your vitality. lowtusa.com.
Oh, hey, just sitting here checking out all my awards. You know, there are many ways to reach us in the Point Studio. You could call us, you could social media us, I think you could even fax us. But there's a new way. It's called Mic Drop. Yes, download the Point app, click the Mic Drop feature, talk into your phone, and your message goes right to us.
The program phone number 314-624-3833 or 618-398-3833. The Mick Ultra Studio Cams, 1057thepoint.com/Rizz. The socials at RizzShow Show. Your emails, RizzShow at 1057thepoint.com. Friday Fail Stories on the way. Rafe's E Memoriam. We'll give away some prizes. We'll play what today, Rafe?
Bad movie descriptions.
Bad movie
today,
descriptions.
I believe, sir.
Excellent. Also, in a couple minutes, we'll let you know which ad is moving on to the Craigslist Freak of the Year semifinals. But first, I want to shout out the 4 different companies that have so generously donated to Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. And they're sponsoring our heads this week. Moon?
Case and Bucks. We love the food from Case and Bucks down in Barnhart, where families and sports enthusiasts come together for great food, entertainment, and experiences. Visit their website at caseandbucksbarnhart.com. That's caseandbucksbarnhart.com.
King Scott.
Alpha Pet, spelled ALFA, has been in cat care business for more than 30 years, and they've patented the flat bottom liner and the flat bottom sitting liner for your cat litter needs, and they have odor and moisture absorbing crystals for the litter box too.
All right, thank you, Alpha Pets. Rafe.
Victory Men's Health, empowering you to live optimized and in memory and support of our friend Jeff Burton. Visit victorymenshealth.com.
And my head sponsored by Ella and Ollie Popcorn, St. Louis locally grown popcorn. My favorite, by far. For your home popcorn experience, providing the highest quality popcorn varieties, unique seasonings, oils, and poppers, visit their website at ellaolliepopcorn.com. ellaolliepopcorn.com, and all these companies have made very generous donations to Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. And I am happy to let you guys know. So we've had a bunch of different things for Cardinal Glennon in October. So it's November 1st, so it's time to give you the total. How did we do? How did you guys do? We had the weirdo stickers over at Together Credit Union. So you guys went en masse to Together and got those weirdo stickers, plucked down $1, got those stickers. We had the RizzShow billboard on tour, where you guys generously donated to sign the billboard, which is courtesy of More Choice Jewelry. We had the Corey Feldman Movie Fest Spectacular over at the High Point Theater.
Yep.
We had the Hats of the Week. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't have the exact number yet, but we are north of $20,000, which will go to Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital.
That's awesome.
So thank you all for your generosity.
Awesome work.
Thanks to the different sponsors, the hat sponsors, the billboard sponsor, High Point Theater. Tracy Bibb helped us out. So thank you guys for helping out with this fundraiser.
Yeah.
The money goes to Cardinal Glennon. What a worthy cause. And we got to go visit the kids over there a couple weeks ago, and just the work they do over there, helping those kids out, helping those families out, is I can't even put it into words. But thank you guys for your generosity. Just north of $20,000 will be going to Cardinal Glennon.
Crazy.
On the a little bit of a selfish front, we're doing this Face the Music promotion, where every week one of us will get to pick a band for each day. And whenever you hear a song from that band, from 6 a.m. to midnight, you guys will open up your 105.7 The Point mobile app. You'll see our face. You tap our face. You have a chance to win $1,000 and your chance to co-host one of our morning shows. Today's band you're listening for is Alice in Chains. So this is a Rizz pick, my final Rizz pick for my week. Alice in Chains. And this is a bonus. It's going to go throughout the weekend. So listen for Alice in Chains, 6 a.m. to midnight, today, tomorrow, and Sunday. When you hear an Alice in Chains song, open up the Point mobile app, tap my face, chance to win that $1,000, your chance to co-host the morning show. Next week is Lern's week. So today and the weekend, Alice in Chains, 6 a.m. to midnight. So make sure you're listening intently. With all that being said, it's time to officially crown the Craigslist Freak of the Week and find out which ad will be moving on to the Freak of the Year semifinals.
And may I say, at least in my memory of doing this for 11 years, this is the closest vote we have ever had.
Yes. Yes, it was between Randy Waxon, and this was the gentleman who wanted to make love to your ear holes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, then that was after he was going to take all the wax out and do weird things with the wax.
And it was the other ad. Flo Pesci was the guy who has the need to get your used feminine hygiene products.
And it's his business what he's going to do with them. He's got a little side hustle.
So we're gonna. So based on your votes, the winner had 50.4%. The runner-up had 49.6%.
With a difference of 0.4%. Insanity, Rizz. Dude, do you remember anything anywhere near?
No. It's the difference of a handful of votes. And ladies and gentlemen, moving on.
We told them yesterday this would be the most important election.
Yeah.
They voted in this year.
It's cool they showed up.
And it was. Your vote mattered.
Your vote did matter. And ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the Freak of the Year semifinals with 50.4% of your vote. It was Flo Pesci.
Wow.
Whoa.
One woman's trash is another man's gold. Man for woman, 35 years old, Calgary, Alberta. First-time poster here. I'm not sure if this is too, quote, out there or not. I'm a newly single guy in the market for an open-minded woman. I am the only guy in a family of all sisters. Am I a monster for being super horny when I see feminine hygiene products in the little garbage can by the bathroom sink? This fad of mine started as a kid after being super curious one day. When I unfolded that wrapper and saw what that tampon looked like, my life changed. I'm so aroused even thinking about it. My last wife was not into it. That's one of the reasons we're not together anymore. Even if I don't find a lady on here who will accept me for me, maybe you're willing to sell me your used pads and tampons. You're going to throw them out anyway. Why not make a couple extra dollars? A side hustle, if you will. I'm almost 2 years single now, and I miss my monthly gifts. I'm a subscriber to your menstruation. What I do with it when you throw it out is my business. I can offer a $25 Visa gift card every monthly exchange. I am up to negotiate. Sorry it can't be more, but I'm working 2 jobs at the moment. It's hard to make ends meet. Alimony and child support are a bitch. Thank you for your time. Roger.
All right, there you go. Flo Pesci moving on to the Craigslist Freak of the Year semifinals.
Flo, Roger Pesci.
And thank you for your votes, and every vote did count today.
Yeah, so Flo Pesci will now take on the winner between Robert Plant and Gene Even Wilder. That will happen in just a few weeks. That is on the west side. Remember, there's a west versus east.
West side, east side. Next week, who is who?
Next week is, we go back to the east side. The very last quarterfinal of the east side is between Crawley Shore and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Wow. Ooh. All right. Next week, stay tuned. We'll see what ad is moving on to the Craigslist Freak of the Year semifinals. Now, this is mostly just about when you were born, but what decade would you say you're most nostalgic for right now? If you could just transport back to a decade, where would you go? Would you go to the 2000s, like the 2000 to 2010s? Would you go to the 90s? Would you go to the 80s?
Can you fill in some blanks here on details? Am I me now? Am I me then? Am I just basically...
You're you now.
Am I repeating what I did before?
You're you now. Okay. We'll just say just the culture. Yeah, you'll get to experience the cultural elements of whatever. You know, you now transported back to whatever decade.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm going to...
Not really sure, because when I experienced the 90s, it was pretty tight, but I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So me now in the 90s might be like, this sucks.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I think I'm picking the 90s, although the 2000s...
The question that asked was, what decade are you most nostalgic for? I'm just making up that part of transporting yourself.
Okay. Oh, if you say nostalgia for, then it's going to be the 90s for me, just because that's when I came into everything. My music taste, just taste in everything. I'll say 90s, hands down.
Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah. Because if it was the other way, I'd go early 2000s, because it was, you're out of college, you're finally able to do whatever you want, travel the world, the whole thing. But I think 90s.
Yeah, but my
90s
scenario my scenario was transporting you back now.
Man, 80s were rad too, though.
Yeah, the 80s were incredible.
Actually, I'm going 80s. Going 80s because all the cartoons were so cool.
Rafe?
Yeah, the only caveat question I would have is, if I choose the 80s, do I get to look like me now or look like guys in their 40s looked in the 80s?
Yeah.
Well, those guys in their 40s and 80s looked like they were 65 years old.
You'd have to blend in.
Call.
You can't be just sticking out like a sore thumb, dressing like it was 2024.
I'll dress, but do I have to look? There was something about the 80s, man. High schoolers look like they were 30. If you ever look at those 80s high school pictures.
And to tell you what, it would if you had the mind of a 2024 person going back to the 90s, it would kind of suck, because you know what the future holds.
Yeah.
And the modern amenities that we have now are not available then. Mm-hmm. So it would kind of suck. Like, imagine playing a video game in the 90s and knowing what's on the horizon.
Oh, you have to wait for Grand Theft Auto and all these.
You'd be just walking around going, you just wait. You just wait. about everything.
So you almost have to go back far enough where it just didn't exist. You don't want to be at the rudimentary beginnings of the internet.
Yeah,
just
with
like,
dial up.
Yeah, you're just pissed off. Everyone's like, "This is awesome. You've heard of Napster?" And you're like, "Get out of my face. It sucks."
You think
It's
that
so
sucks?
long.
The detachment of the 80s would just be even better?
At least you get to unplug and you're on even ground.
Yeah.
And
You
work
know?
hours are actually work hours. Nobody has to stress out about an email at 7:30 tonight.
Yeah, and like it's you're in the middle of like hairband, Reaganomics. Life's crazy. Every you know,
You go in the 80s?
or the Soviet War. I think the 80s would be a fun time to start over because then it's like you get the 80s and the 90s, then you're in your 60s, you hit the aughts. You know, the internet's back.
I don't know, man. The 70s seem pretty wild, too.
70s would be awesome.
Yeah,
70s seem pretty
I
wild.
mean, so would the 60s. Imagine being like around for like the rock and roll, like being around when everyone's discovering like, the Beatles.
Post Vietnam 70s seemed like a pretty wild time.
Yeah.
You guys are kind of forgetting about the 40s. I mean, it seemed like a great
Yeah.
time.
Well, there was a poll that asked people, what decade are you most nostalgic for right now? And the 90s have now surpassed the 80s because this question was asked a couple of years ago, and it was the 80s, and now it's the 90s. The 90s are the most nostalgic decade for Americans.
Yeah.
Then the 80s, then the early 2000s, the 70s, and the 60s.
60s would have been cool, too.
Now, the top things, the top 90 things we're nostalgic for, number one, by far, was the music. And then movies and TV shows, video games, fashion. And then a tie between 90s sports and toys. Now, if it takes 25 to 30 years for a decade to hit the top of this list, that means we'll all be nostalgic for ChatGPT and Brat Summer starting around 2050.
Yeah.
So just to put that in perspective.
All right.
All right, today is November the 1st. Back in the day, 512 years ago, in 1512, Michelangelo's masterpiece, the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, was finally unveiled after 4 years of working on his back.
All that popcorn.
He said, "It's a done."
Looky up there.
I can't do this anymore.
I did that up there. Did you see a painting on the wall? No? You think I've been just sleeping? Guess what? Look up.
Because the guy who commissioned
Oh,
was
you
like,
got me, Michelangelo. Yeah.
the guy who commissioned like, Mike, it's been 4 years.
There's
buddy.
nothing on the walls. Oh, yeah. He didn't say the walls. He said the Mike making me a painting. Looky uppy.
Mike, it's been 4
Okay.
years.
Yeah, I guess it's cool. Like, imagine the guy being disappointed.
It's finished. 224 years ago in 1800, our second president, John Adams, became the first president to move into the White House. 130 years ago, 1894, Billboard Advertising magazine was first published. It only cost 10 cents. The weekly magazine is now simply known as Billboard, which you've all probably heard of. 111 years ago, 1913, Notre Dame beat Army 35-13 at West Point, thanks to the Irish's new secret weapon, the forward pass. 57 years ago, 1967, Paul Newman's Cool Hand Luke was released. Never saw it.
It's a great one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
good.
ever see Cool
It
Hand
holds
Luke?
up.
No,
I mean,
I-
I know the egg scene. I know.
I've never seen it.
Here is a failure to
I
communicate.
started it, but I never got into it.
It's one of those that, yeah, it's a must see.
55 years ago, 1969, the Beatles' Abbey Road album goes number one in the U.S., stays number one for 11 weeks. 30 years ago, 1994, Nirvana's MTV Unplugged in New York album finally released. 25 years ago, 1999, Walter Payton died of dial-bucked cancer at the age of 45. Right, he was Sweetness. Is that his nickname? He was the NFL's all-time leading rusher until Emmitt Smith broke the record in 2002. And 12 years ago in 2012, Gmail becomes the world's most popular email service. And that's what happened back in the day. Hey, before we get to crap on celebrities, speaking of football, how about the Jets winning last night?
Yeah.
And how about 4 of the 5 of us switching our picks from the Texans to the Jets? What happened with Lern? Did anybody get in touch with her?
No,
She was on the email chain.
I know.
She was trick or treating, I guess.
Maybe
Well, she's
she's
up in Chicago.
She was just being our safety net.
But didn't she respond?
I thought so. That's why we were even doing the texting back and forth talking about the Switch, but maybe you just missed it.
Okay. She's on vacation. All right, time to find out what's going on in the world of music and entertainment with your Crime on Celebrities.
All right, Black Sabbath legend Tony Iommi says the Hard Rock Cafe won't return a Red Gibson SG guitar that he played on 4 of the Sabbath early albums, even though the restaurant chain promised to give it back. Check this out. Iommi told Guitar World that the guy who used to buy memorabilia for the Hard Rock came to England and visited me. He wanted to buy some stuff. I'd retired the SG because it was too valuable to me. He offered to buy it, and it seemed like a good idea because the guitar would be displayed for people to see, kept safe instead of sitting in a case somewhere just in my storage.
Right. I mean, this is, I know the story. It's pretty damn rotten. So, this is a very famous guitar.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, so Hard Rock, they buy so much memorabilia. I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't the largest memorabilia owners as far as just badass rock and roll stuff.
What I found interesting about this story was the fact that they bought it. That they didn't, it wasn't lent.
Well, they have to buy it. There's some policy or something with them. So they've bought 3 of my guitars. I don't know where they are. One was in Orlando. One was at the St. Louis Hard Rock. But they display them all over the place.
But so it's theirs, though. Like, when they buy it from you and it's theirs.
When they buy it, you sign a thing that says, here's whatever money that they're offering, and it's theirs to display wherever they want. They'll give you like a little preview of the excerpt that'll be by it, and then you kind of like approve a picture that they want to use, which is a picture usually of you using that instrument.
But then that's it.
But that's it. And then
it's theirs.
They have no obligation to tell you where it goes. In fact, they never told us where it goes. I just would walk in somewhere and eat and go, oh my gosh, there's my guitar. And I wish I could buy one of them back. I would pay triple what they paid me.
With this story.
This one, dude. So he says, Tony Iommi says, the deal was if I ever wanted it back, I would just let him know and buy it back for the same price. So apparently they struck some sort of deal. He says it seemed fair enough, a good deal. Iommi then explained that the buyer later died. And Hard Rock Cafe claims to know nothing about this deal to return his guitar. The guitarist added the SG has always been precious to him. So he's saying that it was, I guess it was a verbal agreement.
What is Hard Rock supposed to say? Like, we don't have it in writing.
I wonder if they even know where it is. I don't know. I've had a few friends, I've never seen it, but I've had a few friends be shown some of the storage, and he said, dude, some of the coolest stuff that they have isn't even on display. It's in a storage.
But I wonder if this is actually displayed. Does it say if it's displayed or not?
It does not say, and I don't know.
It may be on a wall somewhere.
But I wonder if they even know where it is. I wonder if they got to put on an email.
I hope they hope they have everything cataloged. Wow. But at the same time, Hard Rock's like, listen, we bought it from you. You could say there was a deal with a dead guy. There's nothing in writing.
Yeah.
I get it sucks.
I don't know. I just know from my experience, they literally say, here's what we'll offer, and that's it. It's
Unfortunately,
ours.
if it was precious enough, you wouldn't let it out of your sight.
Yeah, but if he had a deal, Hey, so we were talking about Joe Exotic a little bit when Tanya Haddix from Chim Crazy was in here.
Oh, the fact that, Tanya said she went to his wedding.
Well, speaking of weddings.
A few of them.
Joe Exotic is engaged.
Oh.
Again.
Congrats.
The Tiger King star.
Scabies.
Who is currently serving a 21-year prison sentence, announced that he is engaged again, now to fellow inmate Jorge Marquez. Meet Jorge Marquez. He is 33. He is so amazing and is from Mexico, Joe wrote on X, along with a photo of his new fiancée. Now the quest of getting married in prison and getting him asylum or we be leaving America when we both get out, Joe continued. He then says, either way, I wish I would have met him long ago. Joe Exotic confirmed the engagement to Entertainment Weekly on a phone call from prison. Quote, we filed our official papers for the marriage license from the prison yesterday, so we're just waiting for the approval.
Well, congratulations, you two.
He said it has to be approved by the warden and the psychiatry department and the chaplain before their license can be approved. Quote, we love each other so very much. We spend every minute of the day together. I've been through some
because you're incarcerated together.
Yeah. I've been through some in my days.
Else to do.
I buried 2 husbands. The third ran off with $2.6 million from Netflix and left my ass here. But Jorge is a very amazing young man.
Okay. I love that we spend every waking moment together, all our time together. What else is there to do?
Romantic.
Jennifer Lopez.
What is he in for?
Wasn't it attempted murder?
No, Joe is in for
Oh, Jorge.
Jorge, what is Jorge up for?
Didn't say. I don't have those details, but that's an important question that I should have thought of.
Right, Joe's in for what? Trying to kill?
Conspiracy to commit murder.
Carol
right?
Baskin?
It was something related.
Yeah.
Being
with
too
that,
cool,
right?
I
maybe?
believe, it was hiring a hitman, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with the animals. I think it all had to do with Baskin.
It did. It was the guy he sent the one weird dude to that worked for him that said he was like, yeah, he sent me to kill Carol.
Oh yeah, the guy on the Wave Runner that wore
But he said
a wire.
he didn't. Yeah.
Let me see here. Convicted in the case involving animal welfare activist Carol Baskin.
Well, while you find that,
Yeah.
I'll give you the J-Lo
Yeah, it's
update.
I was wondering if it was to kill her, and yes, it was.
J-Lo was at a screening and a Q&A for her new movie, Unstoppable. I don't know about you guys, but she must have done some deal with Netflix where she said, I'll do 15 movies this year because Netflix just keeps passing me these J-Lo movies. And the next one is Unstoppable. On her way out, she was signing autographs for fans, which is cool. And then it came to an immediate end when somebody goes, hey, what about P. Diddy? And her face immediately fell. She walked away from her bodyguards. J-Lo's previously has said that their two-year relationship was emotionally exhausting and tempestuous. They dated between
she was involved with him in that whole weird period.
99 to 2001.
He was arrested on gun charges. She was wasn't she in the car with him at the time?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember that.
Wow.
Yeah, 99 to 2001, they were a thing. Anna Kendrick recently made her directorial debut with a movie called Woman of the Hour, which apparently is really good. It's like one of the higher-rated movies from this
thought
year.
it was
And it's
really
a
well
true
done.
story. It's about the dating game and the serial killer
Yeah.
winning.
Yep.
Robert, what is it, Alcala?
Yep,
Was it
Rodney Alcala.
Rodney Alcala.
So she plays a real life. She plays the real life dating game contestant who came face to face with the serial killer Rodney Alcala in 1978. She says she felt gross about profiting from an actual murderer, so she donated her entire pay to victims of violent crime. Super cool. Quote, believe me, this was never a money-making venture for me because all the resources went to actually making the movie. I'm not making money off this movie. The money's going to RAINN, R-A-I-N-N, which stands for Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network.
Yeah,
and the
that's a good
National Center for
organization.
Victims of Violent Crime.
cool.
So the story goes, and I didn't see the movie. I know the story. I listened to a whole podcast about the Rodney Alcala story. So he had killed people and wound up getting on the dating game. So he had already killed people. He was charming enough for the woman to pick him.
Oh, no.
So remember, it's like bachelor number 1, bachelor number 2, bachelor number 3.
Right.
So, and it's one woman. So she wound up picking him. Wow. And then she was he was so weird when they met off camera. Like they never actually went on the date.
Because he was too
Because he was too weird.
Yeah, because he was like, probably like figuring out his plan in his head.
Yeah.
He was too weird. And she's like, I feel like something is off here. I'm not
I'm
going to.
so thankful she
Wow.
did, man.
Good for her. I mean, the rest of her life, she was like, thank you, intuition. Thank you, intuition.
And
Imagine knowing you were that close.
golly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
Tony Hill does a good job in that as well.
Oh,
He's
he
the
plays.
host,
Oh, he plays the host?
the game host, and he's very funny. And they kind of make fun of how game hosts were in the 70s, where they're a little creepy.
Yeah.
So he was a little handsy and weird. And it
Yeah,
was
game
perfect.
show hosts in the 70s used to like kiss the contestants on the
Yeah.
lips.
And Tony nails it, man. That guy's so talented.
So you guys know Sydney Sweeney? She's like a big star now.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the
Big star.
large-breasted woman who's
that.
known for having large breasts.
Yeah, she was in a hotel, White Lotus, the first season. And she was paid $2 million for the romantic comedy Anybody But You, or Anyone But You. And she went on, that movie went on to make $220 million on a budget of $25 million. I heard it was total garbage. I heard they had tried to make this movie like 4 or 5 times. It was some book or something. But now she is making big bucks. In October, she joined the cast of a thriller called The Housemaid for $7.5 million. That makes her one of the highest paid actresses of her entire generation. Right up there with Zendaya, who made $10 million for starring and producing in the tennis drama Challengers. Sydney earned an additional $250,000 for EPing Anyone But You. And one source claims that she even agreed to take part in the box office flop Madam Web in order to help Anyone But You get made.
Well, and you know, it's funny. I think I like her because she's got a good sense of humor about herself.
Yeah, she's pretty
like when
funny.
she was on SNL, she really leaned into having the big boobs thing.
Yeah, but she's
was self-deprecating
she's
about it.
really talented and plays this like grouse of a girl like so well in that White Lotus show. She's really good. Like
That was a good show.
Yeah, she makes you kind of root
Season
for
one.
her and hate her at the same time. Like she's pretty awesome. Salma Hayek, still relevant, still looks ageless. She has been
Married to a
married
billionaire.
married to a billionaire for 15 years, and yet she's still driven to make her own money. That's because they keep their finances separate, and they have no prenup. Can you
Well,
believe that?
Because she has a lot of money. Like, she's an actress and has been an actress for many, many years. A very successful one.
But a billionaire, nowhere near.
Even if she wasn't with the billionaire, she'd be fine.
Well, she says, I support a lot of my aspects of my life and myself. I have the pressure to make a certain amount of money, and I like it. She adds that her husband actually finds her drive kind of sexy. And after 15 years, people don't really accuse Salma of marrying for the money, but she doesn't care if they do. In an interview a few years ago, she said, I'm like, yeah, whatever, bitch.
How brave.
Think what you want.
To be a rich actress, married to a billionaire.
Hey, who do you guys think the villain is in Forrest Gump? A lot of talk about
It's
how
Jenny.
Jenny is the Okay, so you're Jenny is the villain.
100%. Jenny is the villain of Forrest Gump, without a doubt. Rafe, I mean,
That's the popular opinion.
Well, she pops in and out of his life whenever it's convenient for her, doesn't commit to him until she finally finds out that she has an incurable disease, and oh yeah, she brings along their son, whom she never told him
Right.
about.
Who else would be the villain of Forrest Gump?
So Stephen Colbert asked
Bullies?
Robin. Yeah,
Bullies on the bus?
Forrest himself.
Well, there is a villain. If you think about it, if you watch the film, it does end with a villain.
Seats taken.
Well, it kind of starts and ends with a villain. Think about this, though. But so Stephen Colbert asked Robin Wright about that on the show, the theory that Jenny is the villain. And turns out she had never heard this theory until just before the show, and she actually kind of agreed with it. She said this, think about how she treated Forrest. Not great.
She never heard of the theory before she went on Colbert Show.
That's what she said.
Get the f*** out of here.
Now, she did say in defense of her own character that, Jenny was sexually abused by her father. To put it mildly, stuff like that tends to leave a psychological mark. So Jenny's dad is the actual villain. If you have to have a villain, or they, kind of wrote in the villain, because remember,
Yes,
he
Jenny's
bulldozes
dad
the
is
house at the end.
Jenny's dad is not a great person. It is implied that she is abused. But that doesn't mean that Jenny should have treated Forrest that way.
That's
Yeah,
true.
2 wrongs don't make a right.
That's true. Break the cycle. Break the cycle, Jenny. All right, let's get into it is the nebulous period between Halloween and Christmas. And our family was talking about this yesterday. We were involving ourselves in the great debate of is The Nightmare Before Christmas a Halloween or a Christmas movie? Well, I have the world's 25 best Christmas horror movies, so the blends. And my daughter said number one right off the bat. My oldest daughter was like, you got to watch
Christmas
this.
horror movie?
Christmas horror movies.
It's Gremlins.
Gremlins is number one.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
Hands down. My daughter was like, yo,
Such a
Gizmo,
fun
Gremlins, you got to watch it. What else? Any others? I have a great list. I got the top 15.
Christmas horror movies?
Christmas horror
Are we
movies.
talking? Are we gonna go with like Violent Night?
Violent Night, number 4, 2022.
Like kind of on the nose, but
Then there's a whole bunch
good.
of those.
What was Violent Night?
Violent Night
This is
was
a recent.
the one with David Harbour.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
You loved that
Yeah,
one.
that was great.
Yeah, that was better than I thought it was going to be.
Fat Man?
What about?
Was that a horror though?
No.
Fat Man
Yeah,
is
more
not
action.
on here.
Okay.
Most of these I don't
Would be
know.
Top.
Is there one called Dead Snow on there? Have you ever seen that one?
Number 15 is called Better Watch Out from 2016. Number 14
Give me
is
Jack Frost.
Christmas Evil. Jack Frost did not make the list.
Oh, that's Keaton's best work.
Number
you guys
13.
seen Dead Snow?
No.
I thought
That's
it was
a
Christmas
Nazi
time. It's
movie, right?
it's like zombie Nazis. It's actually really good.
Oh, you know this movie, Scott?
Yeah.
It's a good movie, and I thought it happened at Christmas time, but maybe I'm wrong.
A zombie Christmas?
I digress. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm recalling it.
Really?
Moving on.
Silent Night from 2021. Into the Dark Puka from 2018. Into the Dark, A Nasty Piece of Work from 2019. Krampus. Didn't you guys?
Oh, yeah, Krampus.
Oh, yeah,
Krampus?
Krampus, yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Number 8 is A Christmas Horror Story, also from 2015. Tales from the Crypt from 1972 is number 7. Number 6 is Christmas, Bloody Christmas from 2022. It's a Wonderful Knife from 2023.
Nice.
Violent Night is number 4. The Sacrifice Game is number 3. And they say the number 2, just behind Gremlins, is There's Something in the Barn from 2023. Anybody heard that?
No.
I got one more list. And this,
Dude,
this
Dead Snow, by the way, 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. So it's a 2014 Dead
You'll love
Snow, Red versus Dead.
You'll love it.
Yeah.
I think the sequel's good, too. There's like 2 of them.
It's not a genre I've ever really thought about too much. Okay, last list here. A study analyzed the lyrics of top Billboard artists and iconic musicians to find out which artists have the highest lexical diversity in their lyrics. So basically, the smartest bands, the variety of unique words. The top 15 artists are, number 1 is Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath, 52%. They say they're the most lexically diverse band. Number 2, this one's obvious, Pink Floyd. Pink Floyd has a lot of word salad stuff. Number 3, Slayer. Number 4, a band called Laufey. Number 5.
Wait, Black Sabbath was number 1?
Black Sabbath, number 1.
Okay.
5 was Bruce
By a Black
Springsteen.
Sabbath fan.
6 was Tyler Childers. Number 7 was freaking Megadeth. Number 8, Eagles. Number 9, Bob Dylan. Number 10, Jimi Hendrix. Number 11, Judas Priest. Number 12, Iron Maiden. Number 13, Dasha. 14, Toby Keith. Now that is the biggest surprise ever. Any country artist, really, I would think is kind of a surprise. And number 15, Rizz's favorite band, Radiohead.
Yeah.
Now the top 5 most positive artists based on lyrics, Marvin Gaye, Cody Johnson, Garth Brooks, Led Zeppelin, and Celine Dion. The 5 most negative artists are Slayer,
Yeah.
Iron Maiden,
Yeah.
Slipknot, System of a Down, and the Kid Laroi. And by the way, what genre do you think is the most intelligent genre based on its lyric diversity?
Oh, based on that?
Heavy metal.
I guess, heavy metal.
Heavy metal is the most lyrically diverse
It's
and
because they all
smartest.
read Lord of the Rings and...
It's the most intelligent genre, so take that one and give it to the country fans. Rock and roll was second. Country was third. New music out today. The Cure has a record. Jimmy Fallon has a holiday record. And Willie Nelson put out his 76th album. It includes covers of Beck, Tom Waits, and the Flaming Lips. It is called Last Leaf on the Tree, and it's out today.
Flaming Lips cover is good, but there's,
Is it what song?
It worries me.
Is it Do You Realize?
I think so.
Oh, so you're thinking it's like his Johnny Cash Hurt?
That's what everybody was saying. Like, this is like the...
This is the end?
Well, the album's title is kind of sad, too.
Celebrities celebrating
Yes,
a
Do You
birthday this weekend. Kendall Jenner is 29. The rocker runner-up from American Idol Season 4, Bo Bice, is 49. St. Louis' own Nelly is 50. Jenna McCarthy, 52. That's Donnie Wahlberg's woman. You know Melissa McCarthy is her cousin? Korn's bassist Fieldy is 55. David Schwimmer from Friends is 58. Def Leppard's one-arm drummer Rick Allen is 61. Poison bassist Bobby Dahl is 61. Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers is how old this weekend?
What is...
55.
I'm going to say he's 61.
Who?
Anthony Kiedis.
Anthony Kiedis. He's definitely.
He's gotta hit
I
60.
think he was older than the rest of the band. Oh, maybe not.
No, him and Flea went to school together.
64.
62. Anthony Kiedis, 62. CEO of Apple, he took over after Steve Jobs died. Tim Cook is 64. Country singer was once married to Julia Roberts.
I love it.
I love it. 67. Dolph Lundgren, 67.
Lyle Lovett was the real life Beavis, dude. His head was so crazy.
Yeah, he was such a unique, or he is.
Yeah.
Dennis,
Apparently that guy is awesome, though.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him. Dennis Miller, 71. Roseanne Barr, 72. Hollywood Squares announcer Shadow Stevens, 77. And Michael Buffer, the Let's Get Rated Rumble guy. He is 80 years old this weekend. Today's porno birthday, which is being brought to you by Patricia's, where Fun and Fantasy meet, is Aiden Ashley. And today's birthday girl has been in 557 fine films, including 3 Girls for Every Guy, 2 and 3. All-American Orgies, 3. Bitches Behind Bars, Her Forbidden Fruit 2. She was in a movie called Ticklemania, Scott's favorite, Tuna Helper.
Oh, it's so wonderful. You guys will like it. It's a good Christmas movie, too.
Well, speaking of Christmas, the night before Wankmas, she was in that one. And who could forget a role? In 2014's I'm Here for the Orgy. Aiden Ashley is 37 years old. It's porno birthday. Those are your crappy birthdays, and that we should crap on celebrities. All right, this is Willie.
It sounds like rainbows.
No.
Ah.
This is a listen at home on the couch. You can't listen to that and you can't listen to that and drive. We'll take a break. We'll come back with Rafe Williams and this week's E Memoriam. It is straight up 8 o'clock. It's Friday, traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Hey, man, traffic is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. We have delays 70 eastbound between First Capitol Drive and Earth City Expressway. There's also a lane blocked due to a crash 270 westbound at Lilac Avenue. Your point forecast, clear skies. High of 62. Right now it's 45 at the Point Studio.
Well, here we are, Music Record Shop, and it's stunning. We've got Giannis, we've got Jimmy, and we've got Alex, our grand prize winner. And quite simply, gentlemen, for the next little while, we're just going to go record shop.
Wicked.
Which sounds fantastic. So we'll check in when we get done. Let everybody kind of get after it. But like, do you have a plan when you're going into a
No,
record
I'm just
shop?
going to go at it with a frenzy.
All right,
Yeah.
very good. Well, we love that. All right, so here at Music Record Shop, we're getting after it. We'll check in with you in a bit. Did you ever stop collecting vinyl, or have you just always done it?
Yeah, I mean, from when I started buying vinyl, largely because a lot of the shows I went to when I was younger were like punk, they were like punk shows, so the bands that I liked, they would just put out 7-inch. So I was like, I wanted the music, so I was like, I bought it, and then I bought a crappy turntable.
I've kind of started going back and buying a lot of punk vinyl,
Cool.
of stuff that I never had before, and bands that I've just now kind of rediscovered that everybody says are great. You know, like Minutemen, where we're a band that I've known of but never really knew.
Yeah, on tour, it's a reason to go out for a walk, to go to the record store, and like, you know what I mean? It's like, I like going to actual record shops.
Is it a pretty fairly common thing that you do?
Yeah, on tour definitely, and in London I go record shopping. Yeah, a fair bit.
Just so we know, I'm getting this from Moon. But I mean, I would put it in my collection. I'm just saying I'm getting this from Moon because I think he loves this movie, if I'm not mistaken. And then if you don't, I am going to keep it for myself. I saw an article today that your record is the second biggest seller on vinyl in 2019.
It's the biggest in the UK.
In the UK,
it's the biggest.
It's the biggest.
Yeah. The official chart put a tweet out yesterday. Right? Unless something's changed in the last few years, it's the biggest.
What was crazy was it was like you guys, Queen, Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Like
It's
it was all like
heritage
catalog
acts,
stuff.
yeah.
That's awesome. Are you a big David Bowie fan?
Yeah.
If I were to buy a non-greatest hits David Bowie record, what would you recommend?
My favourite's Low.
Okay. He's just another one of the ones that knew of as I was growing up, but it just took me till I was a little bit older, I think, to kind of appreciate it.
Yeah.
And like we have like the greatest hits, like we have 2 volumes of the greatest hits, and like every time we have it on, we're like, why do we not have more? Like we know these songs and they're great, but there's got to be flipping tons more out there.
Yeah.
So. I hope you guys have enjoyed yourselves
Absolutely.
and enjoy searching, but
Pleasure.
I just wanted everybody to kind of go with maybe show a couple things in which that they got, and I'm going to start. I've been looking for David Bowie to get that was an actual proper record and not a greatest hits, and so Jimmy told me to get this one and recommended this one. And then for comedic purposes, and I couldn't leave it alone, the Martin Mull stand-up record for $3.99. I just figured we'll give it a go. What the heck? What do we got? Alex, what do you got?
I stared out with some Leonard Skinner. I think that the Leonard Skinner greatest hits was stuck in my dad's CD player for like 10 years, so I know every word to every song. The Gorillaz album, and I've gotten a lot of praise since picking it out, but I enjoyed it growing up. It was a great crossover between alternative and hip hop, and multiple feels.
Yeah.
Very happy to see that they had some Brand New here. Brand New is my favorite band.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Sweet.
I love Brand New.
I got a few things. I got an Afghan pop compilation, which is, I've heard one of the tracks before, it's great. Talk BBC Sessions. This is probably our band's favourite band. And I didn't tell Jimmy as I found that one because I knew that he'd want it. And then I just got some classics that are overdue for me having on vinyl, like Radiohead Kid A, Sigur Rós, Paul Simon.
I got Devo's first album on Picture Disc, which is great.
That's awesome.
I got a King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album, which I really like, called Oddments. It's a slightly weird one. Got the new Earl Sweatshirt album, which is really good.
That's great. It's a great
Very
record.
nice. Moon Safari by Air, absolute classic. Simon and Garfunkel, Wednesday morning 3 a.m.
Very good.
Nice. And then an on-ear tricks point never record that I think might be all right.
Well, guys, I hope we all had a good time.
I'm so grateful for First Community. They keep me informed on how to make my dollar go a lot further. In fact, they sent over this blip about an article from Forbes. It says the average credit card rate is now over 28%, which is honestly just crazy. It's sad and too high. And so whether or not you like it, you might be paying too much. And that rate on that card in your wallet may have gone up, and you possibly just didn't realize it. I mean, that stuff is easy to miss. And here's the thing. You don't have to pay that kind of rate, because I'm going to let you in on probably the best-kept secret over at First Community, and that's their Platinum Visa with a rate of only 7.9%. Yes, you heard me right. 7.9%. Here's the kicker, though. There's no annual fee. That means zero. And there's no fee to transfer your balance, which is insane. So it's a great way to put your dollars to work and also bring that rate down and get a card that will work for you the right way. Go to First Community. Ask them today about this. Go to First Community and do your banking there at firstcommunity.com.
So way back Point Fest, we are backstage with the Urge, and we just learned a very valuable lesson. That when the microphone says mute, that means that they can't hear Steve.
It's mute. That is not working.
That is not working.
That ain't happening.
Boy, oh boy. So we found out so far that I'm sweaty, the microphones don't work. We are off to a bang upstart here, gentlemen. A bang upstart.
Get that out of the way now.
Well, I very much appreciate you guys chatting, and Bill, especially you, man. You're what did you do to the back?
Oh, Doc says I have.
Talking about Salma Hayek being married to a billionaire.
With no prenup.
No prenup. Yeah, but again, she's a rich actress, so she'll be okay. She gonna be okay, regardless of being married to a billionaire or not. But this leads to a very interesting question, and I have the actual answer. Of all the billionaires in the world, there are 2,800 billionaires in the world. What's the most common name? What's the most common name? Of the 2,800 billionaires in the world, what's the most common name for the billionaire?
800.
That's a good one. I mean, Bill would...
Around 2,800 billionaires in the world.
I'm going to say... Well, actually, no.
Maybe
because somebody analyzed the Bloomberg Billionaire Index to figure out which name appears most frequently amongst the top 500 uber-rich folks.
I can see
King.
Bob?
Bill?
Bob, no.
No Bill. No Mike.
Listen, there are two ways you could help ensure that your kids become billionaires. Number one, pass down $1 billion inheritance, or name them one of these names.
Like, is it going to be a foreign?
Warren, no.
Let me ask you this. How often?
I don't know how often.
So we don't know out of the 2,800.
Out of the 2,800.
47 billionaires have this name.
I just have the ranking of.
So it could be two guys named Tom.
Oh, yeah.
For all we know.
Tom did not make the top 10.
Prince?
The top money-making name is
Sam?
John.
John.
There are more John billionaires than anybody else, followed by David. Johns and Davids.
Congrats, guys.
Sure, more common names.
Then you got your Thomases, your Toms.
You got a few Toms here.
Michaels. And then your Wangs. Your Wangs. You know, you figure a lot of Chinese. A lot of Chinese, billionaires out there. Your Marks.
That's a surname, though, yeah?
Wang? I don't know. It says Wang. You get Charles, your Zhang, your Wang, and your Zhang. Your Richards and your Jims.
Very
Richards
cool.
and Jims.
Your Richards and your Jims.
Dick's, Jims, and Wangs.
Mm-hmm. Dick's, Jims, and Wangs.
And Johns.
and
Jimmy's.
Johns, yes.
Dick's, Jims, Johns, Wangs, and Jimmy's.
I'm seeing a ridiculous theme here.
Me too.
I like it.
All right, folks.
Okay.
It's time for this week's E-Memoriam.
The E-Memoriam brought to you by the Inskip Law Firm, your future, our priority. For those of you that don't listen on a daily or weekly basis, the E-Memoriam is much like the In-Memoriam with an I that you see in the Oscars and other award shows where we say goodbye to folks. But here in the Rizz Show, we say goodbye to folks that we upset, or maybe a news story we read. Sometimes we say goodbye to ourselves. But it's usually people who threatened to leave the show for some capacity or got upset about something that we said, no matter how innocuous. Believe me, we've tried to be as white bread as possible. It still pisses people off. So, without further ado, let's get this week's in memoriam started. First up, the spirit of William Bill Paxton. We want to give a proper post-mortem send-off to the legend Bill Paxton. After this week, we discussed in a segment that the entire crew of the film Titanic was roofied with PCP-laced water. And while the entire film crew went to the ER, Bill Paxton just bought a case of beer and went to his trailer to ride the storm out like a stone-cold early morning pimp. P-I-M-P. Bill decided PCP stood for Pound and Chorus Player, and we respect the hell of him for it. And we actually, I have a live interview Bill did when he was asked about this experience.
Okay.
Play that for me real quick.
Yeah, let me get that down, and let me get this up here.
That is a severe behavioral disorder.
Hey, I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
Thank you, Bill. That's all he had to say.
All he had to say
about the entire experience. A man, a few words. R.I.P. Bill, bye-bye.
Bill
All
Paxton, RIP from a long time ago.
RIP from a long time ago. Bill Paxton's been dead a long time, but his spirit is alive.
Yep.
And a Coors Light. Next up, one crazy guy's deal breaker. During a convo about first date deal breakers, we had one off-the-wall email from a dude who said, and I quote, "I have a crazy one. I can normally smell when a woman is on her period. It's wild. And it's not that they actually stink, but I can tell. I went on a first date with a girl whose pheromone smell was absolutely disgusting, so I had to shut it down. I can't handle her particular smell every month. Come on, please. 100% my issue. But it was a deal breaker," end quote. Yeah, man. You didn't have to tell us that this was 100% your issue. We knew that after the first sentence. And I think you got a bigger issue if you're smelling women's periods through their clothes. Like, you might be a werewolf, my guy. Or you were given the least desirable power of the mutant and superhero Wolverine possesses.
Oh, my God, that's right.
No cool claws.
That's his superhero power.
Yeah, wouldn't that suck? No cool claws, no healing factor, just a super sensitive stink detector that makes you sound like Anthony Hopkins' cellmate Miggs from Silence of the Lambs.
What can you use that for?
Nothing. I think he can smell that your milk's gone bad through the fridge.
No.
Full thumbs down.
No, if his superpower is just being able to smell if women are menstruating.
He's like a great guy.
Good luck getting taken out on a mission by Professor X.
Yeah, he's got.
Come on, Prof. I've been sitting back here at the mansion for the last 10 missions. Take me out.
Storm, Wolverine, get to the X-Man jet. Gary, you stay here.
blood nose.
Gary, I actually could.
Call him the Bloodhound.
Gary, can I talk to you aside for a second?
He's got a marketing position from Tampax.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take you out on this mission because the White Queen was being kind of a bitch.
we need to know.
And I need to know if she's evil or if it's just that time of the month, Gary. Gary's like, yes, finally.
Cyclops, Wolverine, Beast, Gary, stay here.
Gary, stay here. Watch the mansion.
It's good.
Speaking of Silence of the Lambs, maybe this is a superpower you can be silent about, Gary. Bye-bye. Next up, one specific issue with Rizz's face on Tap That App. We had a rollout of a new contest that didn't come without a few minor technical difficulties this week when listeners using the Point app during a specific song had to tap Rizz's face for an opportunity to win $1,000 and co-host the show. The mass influx of users crashed the servers, temporarily causing folks to have to try multiple times, but one specific listener was upset because he was using his dong to tap the phone screen and seemed to think that somehow the app could detect this and he was being unfairly discriminated against for, quote, trying to be the first man to win a grand using the ween screen, end quote. Luckily, he did email us back to let us know that after multiple thrusts, his pressed ham was accepted, and now he literally has skin in the game. Foreskin, but skin nonetheless. So let's all hope and pray that this man does not win because he would be replacing Rizz for a day, and I'd hate to see how he runs the control board. Bye-bye. You didn't even like when Lux put her feet on it. Imagine if this guy ran it for a day. Speaking of Rizz, hate to call you out, bud, on the air, but we got to talk about Rizz's disrespect for Robert Guillaume.
Robert Guillaume Benson?
That's right. After we had a conversation this week about the impressive body of work of actor RG, a.k.a. Benson, an emailer brought up an interesting conversation. Does Rizz hate Benson? Why does Robert Guillaume never get the St. Louis's own treatment? Born and raised in St. Louis. He's a star. He has a star on the St. Louis Walk of Fame.
I had no idea.
Also the Hollywood Walk of Fame, for that matter. And Rizz made it a point in the same episode to call out Moon for not giving St. Louis's own treatment to Kevin Kline.
Indeed.
So why does he hate Benson? Just curious. We don't know, emailer. We don't know.
I will tell you what.
But this is a fact. What is it?
He was born Robert Peter Williams in St. Louis. I had no idea. He changed his name.
Oh, that ain't fair.
He changed his name.
My Uncle Rob. How dare you?
Dude, you know he was a freaking Phantom of the Opera? How dare you disrespect this man?
He studied at SLU and WashU.
What does he know?
And served in the Army.
Yeah,
Yo,
he's a hero on
he
many fronts.
is Rafiki.
Yes, Rafiki.
You messed up.
Rizz hates Rafiki. Bye-bye.
You know what? I stand corrected, and my apologies to the Guillaume
The
family,
entire state.
Yes.
the city of St. Louis, Joe Edwards, who procures the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Hope you forgive. Hope you can
Apologize
forgive me.
to the trolley.
I apologize to the trolley. Hope you guys can find it in your hard drive. Forgive me.
I think that's the first in memoriam apology we've ever got.
Ever.
That touched my heart.
Yeah.
What a
Because I had no
monumental
idea.
day. Hey, it's a Sandwich Week miracle.
Not sure how to handle it.
Finally, Jeff Corwin fans. After reporting the death of wildlife expert Dingo Dinkelman from a venomous snake bite.
You like that?
That's a real thing, by the way. We posited a theory on what would be the animal to end this less rugged and baby-faced, softer wildlife star, Jeff Corwin, who's managed to outlive almost all of his peers. A couple of Jeff C fans weren't pleased. We thought that this most likely would happen by Jeff being humped to death by two bottlenose dolphins in waist-deep water, trampled by a herd of turtles, or buried under a pile of nuts in an unfortunate incident during the filming of a Squirrels Gone Wild parody video. Sorry we upset you, but remember, you're not core winners. You're core losers. Bye-bye. And now, this week's real RIPs. This week, we lost a few big ones. The aforementioned Dingo Dinkelman. Hats off to you.
Hats off to you,
After
Dingo.
being extra allergic to snake bite venom, you chose to handle snakes. Can't believe. Gone too soon. Phil Lesh of the Grateful Dead and star of Young Frankenstein and many, many other starring roles. The incomparable and lovely Terry Garr. And that concludes this week's In Memoriam, brought to you by the Inskip Law Firm. Your future, our priority. Bye-bye. Game over, man. Game over. Look at that. Come on. Rode it right into the hook.
Wow. Excellent job, Rafe. Thank you. All right. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and we've got your Friday's fail stories. And we'll start off with a story of a Los Angeles Dodger celebration gone wrong.
Uh-oh.
I just saw.
You saw this? Oh,
Okay.
yikes. Game over, man, for his fingers.
Oh, no. It went that wrong, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
So bad.
Oh, it's bad.
It's the worst.
It's 8:20. It is Friday. Traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Traffic is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. We have delays 70 eastbound between 5th Street and 270. Looks like, that just cleared, but out east, kind of northeast, we have a lane blocked due to a crash 270 westbound at Lilac Avenue. Your .4 class clear skies. High is 62, but right now it's 46 at the Point Studio.
We are backstage at Point Fest, and I got to tell you,
Say it again, but slower.
backstage at Point Fest
At Point
with my
Fest.
dude, grandson.
Woo!
Yeah.
How long has it been since the last Point Fest?
Oh, 2 years almost, probably. A
We
year
are
and a half, for sure.
backstage
And doing it.
at Point Fest, and we're doing it.
and
We're
it's
doing
beautiful.
It. Come rain or come shine.
All right, here, I got a first question to ask of you.
What's up?
Hold on, wait.
All right.
Whoa!
I'm here for an interview with grandson. I have an interview with grandson today.
Oh,
I thought that I got this one. I thought this was my interview with grandson because I thought that you had gotten to interview him before, and I had never gotten the chance to interview him.
My grandson.
You guys had 2 years to figure this out.
We sure
still have
did,
it?
yeah, and we didn't.
It's as if you have a grandson tattoo.
Oh, can we get that? Can we get that zoomed? Look at that. Now that's commitment to the craft.
It is.
Requesting at your local radio station. Okay, you guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
So my question: when are you getting your grandson tattooed?
I
That's
don't
the
have any
question.
tattoos at all, man.
I see.
So
We'll
that-
have to change that.
So that's not even like
a lot of tattoos running around backstage at a rock show.
Okay, so that's how it happened. Lux and I had a conversation to where we said, okay, who is going to get to interview grandson this time? And I won this time.
She's won a couple in the past.
Yeah, man.
There's enough for me to go around.
But you're one of those guys that we cannot wait to see you, man.
Thank
like
you,
that
man.
that is one of the highest compliments that we can give you. I am 45 years old. I'm a huge fan of grandson. You call your fans grandkids. What do I call myself? Because I feel like I'm too old to call myself a grandkid.
No, the grandkid knows no age, knows
Okay.
no boundary, gender, ethnicity, love interest. Does not matter. Whoever you are, if you appreciate real music and you feel like you resonate with the truth that I tell and the way I tell it, there's more room for you.
Man, I tell you, and you were one of the first times that I ever heard you. I said, I don't know who this guy is, but I like it and I want more of it. And it's like everything that you're on, you make it better. The
Thank
track
you.
with K-Flay and Ex-Ambassadors, that's a killer song anyway.
Thank
Don't
you,
get me
thank
wrong,
you.
but that is such an amazing song with each of your different kind of features in there. There's a million things to talk to you about, but I always want to talk about K-Flay whenever I have somebody else
Oh my gosh,
that can
of
have
course. Who
the
doesn't?
mutual appreciation of her. I love her as a person and as an artist, and she just seems to be the kind of artist that people just want to work with because of the kind of human that she is.
There's two kinds of artists, I think, out there. There's the artists that seem larger than life in how they dress and how they conduct themselves. When you meet them, it just feels like you're meeting some mythological being. And then there's the artist who just feels like they could be like your best friend.
Yeah.
There's the artist who comes down and just feels like a peer. That was something I felt like when I met her, like I already knew her because what you see is what you get. She's honest, she's inquisitive, she's curious, and reflects in her music. So I'm a big fan, and throughout the pandemic, we've become good friends and made a lot of great music together.
The name of your full-length record that you released in December was called Death of an Optimist.
Death of an Optimist, that's right.
And I find myself every day as somebody that is an optimist. I'm a glass half full guy.
That's good.
But holy smokes, every day it seems like there is another kind of challenge of that sort of thing. And this is an honest question. How do you legitimately keep your head above water when, man, you could wake up in a great mood and then you see the news and there's some other backwards ass something or the other happening. I almost fell. And we still have to keep pushing on. How do you handle that?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and to be candid with you guys, like I don't all the time, and I've in the past leaned on getting high, I've leaned on all kinds of vices to avoid confronting that reality that I don't know sometimes, but I think the conclusion that I drew in making this album about optimism, about hope, is that I think bravery and I think courage comes moving in spite of that doubt, in spite of that cynicism that creeps in once in a while, not the absence of it. I think hypothetically, whether you're a kid about to go off to college or you're in a relationship that you need to get out of, you're in some sort of holding pattern that you have to break. I think one way or another, waiting for the perfect moment, you'll spend your whole life waiting on other people's time. You'll spend your whole life waiting for the right opportunity. And I think that if I've learned anything being a musician, being an artist, through my work in activism, you are the perfect person for the job. You have the perfect time, which is right now. And in spite of the things that you're facing, you have to try. You have to kick your feet. You have to keep treading water. And I think that was a thing that it took me a long time
to hear and then an even longer time to believe. But that's what this album was all about.
Man, it's no wonder to me why you have such a rabid fan base. You are just the genuine goods. And I told you this before off camera, but I want to tell it again because everybody knows I like to tell stories about my kids. That's just what I do. I have a 21-year-old son, and I came home the other day from work, and grandson is blaring in my basement as he is getting ready for work. And I'm telling you, man, now listen.
I love me some underdog fantasy. Calling all sports fans, you love watching the game, cheering on your favorites, but maybe having some skin in the game, huh? Maybe win some money. Make some money while you're watching Sunday football. Underdog makes it easy and fun to turn your sports knowledge into cash. I love playing higher or lower. Now, you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on player stats. So, okay. Rafe, you're the big Chiefs fan in the building?
Yeah. I'm over the moon for the Chiefs.
Pat Mahomes.
Yes.
On Monday against Tampa Bay. 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Okay.
1.5 passing touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
Higher or lower?
Higher. He's back, baby.
Okay. Moon, Lamar Jackson. Baltimore and Denver, 215.5 passing yards. Higher or lower? Lamar Jackson, 215.5 passing yards.
Go higher.
Okay. Doing it. Thank
You're
you, fellas.
doing it.
Thank you, fellas, for
It's gonna
helping
be a
us
good
out.
week.
Thank you. Again, win up to 1,000 times your money by simply predicting player stats. And you can mix it up. You could do NBA, you could do NHL, you could do NFL. Underdog has all your favorite leagues, teams, stars, football, basketball, mix and match across other sports. It's amazing. Now, this season, Underdog will be running a special promo or bonus almost every single day, like profit boosts. Pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts, you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better shot at a big W. And free picks. They're basically a sure thing. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that selection to win. Plus, all new users get a free pick. So download the Underdog app, sign up with promo code Rizz, R-I-Z-Z, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code R-I-Z-Z. Must be 18 and older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
It's Donnie Fandango backstage at Point Fest. For one, I just almost fell out of my chair.
It did.
And for two, boy, that would have made a really great way to start the interviews
intro.
of the day. Yeah. All right, so let's settle this first and foremost. You and me here right now. 0936.
Yes.
All right. I heard it in a couple of different ways. It confused the hell out of me, man.
It confuses me.
Okay, well then good. Then I don't feel as bad that it's not just me.
I put the colon in there to be read as a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No one says it's 9:36 o'clock ever.
Right, ever.
It's never happened. It's never happened.
And it never should happen.
And it won't. I promise.
Man, I was reading a bit about you, and it feels like we, as younger guys, had a similar.
All right, folks, time for your Friday Fail Story. So all these people thought they had the perfect plan, but my God. Somewhere along the line, that perfect plan went completely sideways, and it became an Uber, an Ultra.
Yes.
Dare I say it?
Don't you dare.
Mega. Yeah.
Fail.
All right. Sorry, I laughed. All right, your Friday Fail Stories are sponsored by
Moritz Royce Jewelry, the official jeweler of the Rizzuto Show.
Well, the LA Dodgers, they won the World Series on Wednesday. Epic collapse from the Yankees. That fifth inning was terrible. Hard to watch.
They look great.
Also hard to watch. This LA Dodgers fan celebrating his team's World Series victory.
Yep.
This guy blew his hand off with a firework.
This is a guy who's never been around fireworks.
He blew his hand off and maybe a couple fingers on the other hand.
No.
Oh, dude.
Here is the moment the firework went off.
Oh, his hand blew. I know it did. Oh, my goodness, bro.
Yep.
I know it did.
That's not him, by the way. The guy that had his hand blown off, like, kind of goes back. There's like 4 guys around him. All
Video is
filming, you know?
extremely graphic.
It's bad, and he like, I mean, this thing darn near knocked him out because you can kind of like see him stumble back and he has no idea, and then he goes over and leans over, and there's blood all over the window. It's going all over the street now, and then he looks at his other hand, which is also messed up and bleeding a little bit, but at least not missing fingers yet. And then they go. He kind of looks, brings his hands up like this, and when he sees him, he goes, "Whew, oh, like oh, surprise! I don't have a hand left.
Yeah,
there's no fingers on his hand anymore."
So failed. One hand gone, and fingers on the other one.
Probably fingers gone on the other one too.
What
the video's out there if you want to watch it.
Man,
doctors say the man has non-life-threatening but debilitating injuries. So
that is sad.
Congratulations to the LA Dodgers. A New Hampshire man is facing an indecent exposure charge after he was found naked on the hood of a car in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. This is on Monday. Police say they got a call about a naked man on the hood of a car around 5 o'clock. Arriving officers found the guy identified as 60-year-old Joseph Ward, asked him what he was doing, didn't respond. Since there were kids in the area, officers wrapped a towel around Joe, took him into custody. Charged with indecent exposure. Also found to have an electronic bench warrant for his arrest out in a nearby town. He was, of course, uncooperative during booking and was transported to the Hillsborough County House of Corrections.
Failed.
Now, most criminals who try to run from the cops on foot are caught within seconds. And this guy not only got caught, but he got a massive shiner. A couple weeks ago, police in Florida pulled over a vehicle and noticed the evidence of drugs, so they searched it. Found a rolled cigar of marijuana, a pill box with the word Xanax written on it, and 2 separate baggies, both with fentanyl residue inside. There were also 3 syringes filled with methamphetamine, a black container with 4 more marijuana cigarettes, and a safe with more drugs. They arrested 2 people, but the driver didn't go willingly. While they were attempting to arrest 39-year-old Scott Schwarwin, he tried to flee on foot. But he only got a couple steps before running straight into a telephone pole.
Oh, man.
Cops walked over and cuffed him.
Did you say his name was Scott Schwarwin?
Yeah.
That's a
cool
tough name. No, you got to introduce yourself like that. Hi, I'm Scott Schwarwin.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're
You are?
tripping over the letters.
Now, there's nothing wrong with going to McDonald's on a date, unless you're showing off your golden arches on the front lawn in broad daylight. 2 middle-aged women were on a road trip to reconcile their relationship in Georgia last week when they made a pit stop at a complex that had a gas station and a McDonald's. It's unclear what they stopped for, but things were getting heated in a naughty way.
Ooh.
And they did not keep it to themselves. Witnesses called police when they saw the women going at it in the grass outside the McDonald's, and they were a full go. Completely nude. Both arrested for misdemeanor public indecency. In a Facebook post, police said, "Please don't reconcile on the grass beside the street. Get a room or go home."
Failed.
In your mind, what do these 2 women look like?
Oh, they're eating McDonald's and stuff? Like,
What does that mean, Scott?
nothing.
This guy.
Very attractive.
As if.
Highly attractive.
2 hot lesbians going at it outside of McDonald's.
What do they look like, Rizz?
Yeah, what do they look like? Grimace.
Not like you would have it in your dreams.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
Like the complete opposite.
What do you know
It
about my
does.
dreams?
Yeah.
The complete opposite. Yeah, listen, maybe, Moon, maybe. I don't know. Oh, this is pretty rude behavior for a Canadian. A 43-year-old golfer in British Columbia got arrested for smashing his driver over another guy's head. It happened at Burnaby Mountain Golf Course near Vancouver on October the 12th, but the video just came out. It sounds like the victim or somebody he was with got, hit into the group in front of them. You can hear the victim say it was a mistake, but the guy immediately cracks him with the driver so hard the club head snaps off. The guy he hit went down, started rolling around on the ground holding his head. Luckily, he wasn't seriously hurt. His friends freaked out but didn't retaliate. Good friends, huh?
Mm-hmm.
The guy filming it stayed very calm and very Canadian about it. He said, "We could de-escalate this, eh?" I mean, it's Canadian. Here, listen to it. "We could de-escalate this, eh?" Oh,
my God, what is wrong with you?
Hey, you're gonna
Call the cops.
Back away. Call the RCMP right now. Put the down. RCMP right now.
We can de-escalate this, eh?
That's amazing. Within
so
5
nice.
seconds of his dude getting swung on by a driver.
How about, Moon, I will tell you, if we were playing golf and somebody hit you with a golf club,
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
I would go full ape nuts.
My man.
Dude.
My man.
I would get the rage. I would.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I would get the 9-iron.
I would get the 9-iron.
I would also immediately call the Mounties. and have
Cop
them
showed
come
up, arrested the guy who was described as intoxicated. Go figure. Sounds like he's facing charges for assault with a weapon.
Failed.
It isn't every day that someone spits in somebody else's face while simultaneously embracing those warm, seasonal fall vibes. A female Uber driver in Florida, an Uber Eats driver named Alexandra, was arrested after she made a delivery to another woman's house and was allegedly caught taking food out of the bag. So, Uber Eats driver walks up to the house. The person who ordered the food catches the driver eating. The woman confronted her. Alexandra was not happy about being called out. She grabbed some of the victim's fall decor, including a $10 sign that says, "Happy Fall, y'all," and then spat in the woman's face.
Wow. Sweet lady.
The homeowner grabbed the sign, but Alexandra was not done. She took a decorative urn from her yard, walked back to her car, also stole a decorative column and 4 decorative plaster pumpkins worth about $75 each.
Golly.
Alexandra later arrested, charged with burglary and assault and grand theft from a dwelling. She doesn't seem to be having a happy fall, y'all, but
Failed.
Hope it turns around.
this is gross. But pee is considered organic, right?
Yeah.
A Walmart store in Ohio is pressing charges against a former employee who was caught peeing on a pallet outside the store, filled with bags of potting mix. There's store surveillance footage of the suspect consuming alcohol on the premises and then, spraying the potting mix. They ruined 72 bags of it, valued at over $400. They've all since been tossed.
That's what they want us to think.
It's disgusting, yes, but a lot of that dirt will eventually be peed on by something or someone someday. It's unclear if the suspect was just hammered or if they intentionally did it just to get back at the store. It might be the latter because it sounds like they had been recently fired and weren't working at the time. So the name of the person wasn't released, but it seems safe to assume it was a male employee.
Failed.
We don't know.
Nope, we don't.
Don't know. No. Florida man may have outdone himself when he tried to pick a fight with a woman at a stoplight. But when your blood alcohol concentration is 0.22, things could go sideways real quick.
Whoa.
Must have been early afternoon.
So Joseph H. Carl, old Joey Carl, is a 48-year-old dummy.
Oh, hot Carl.
Who was driving his super sweet Dodge Ram 1500 in the rain last Tuesday night.
Wow.
Woo! About 7 p.m., he runs into another vehicle that was waiting at a stoplight. Now, this would have been a great time to get out, apologize, trade insurance info, and deal with the entire mess another day. But that's not what Joseph did.
No, you got to solve the problem.
He jumped down and started yelling at the other driver.
Okay.
He was so angry. He was so violent. The woman in the other car panicked and drove away. That's when Joseph's truck began rolling into the intersection. He'd realized, oops, forgot to put it in park. Police and paramedics responded to the scene and found Joseph wasn't taking it easy by any measure. Stumbling across the intersection smelled like booze, so this would have been a great time to come clean and tell police exactly what had happened, but that's not what Joseph did. He insisted he does not drink, he does not drive. Later, he claimed he was returning from a neighboring town where he'd been, just hanging out, had a couple beers.
I don't drink. Had a couple beers. But.
Failed his field sobriety test, refused a breathalyzer, so police searched the truck under suspicion of drunk driving. They found it full of empty beer cans with a cold 16-ounce Miller High Life still in the cup holder. When his arrest looked imminent, he complained he hurt his foot. Police took him to the hospital where he was treated for a fractured foot and hand. Turned out that Joe had chased the truck and the truck ran over him. Arrested for DUI and DUI with property damage.
Failed. I don't drink and drive.
0.22.
I just drove over here from the last town after a couple beers, that's all. My foot hurts.
If
You
I
ever
was,
see that video of like, go ahead, buddy, I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, it's all right.
Do you ever see that video? I love watching it about once a month where the lady is like drunk and like goes road rage and she gets out of her car and she's like, oh, I'm crazy driver.
Yeah.
And her car starts to roll away and she tries to get back in it and it hits like the door open, hits the truck in front of her and she gets pinned.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. You can
Oh,
see
yeah.
She's just sitting there. She's drunk and she's stuck. And she has to just wait.
I'm crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. It makes me laugh every
A couple
time.
more for you. A Florida man was taken into jail after he allegedly burglarized a mini golf course while wearing only underwear.
Nice.
The Lee County Sheriff's Office said the incident happened last week at the Smuggler's Cove Adventure Golf in Fort Myers Beach. It was just after 4:30 in the morning. Cops responded to the mini golf course because the alarm had been activated. At the scene, cops heard loud banging noises and a man talking. They soon came across 38-year-old Francisco Mayorga, who was wearing nothing but underwear.
Yeah.
He appeared aggressive and, quote, in an altered mental state. And he was sweating a lot. On the property, cops saw broken decorations, a broken door window, a door that had been forced open, a broken fire extinguisher. 2 other fire extinguishers seemed to be missing. Deputies reviewed surveillance video, which showed Francisco arriving at the property, maliciously ripping down signs, breaking a window and a gate, ripping down a motion detector, causing approximately $500 in damages. Security footage initially showed he was wearing clothes, but at some point, stripped down.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. I mean, you got work to do.
Arrested, taken into the Lee County Jail on multiple charges, including burglary and criminal mischief.
Probably saw the camera.
Failed.
It was like, oh, crap, they're going to recognize me. I better take this shirt off. They're going to recognize these pants. I better take these pants off. They're going to recognize these socks. Better get rid of the socks.
And finally, these people are not only stupid criminals, but they're also stupid business people. A couple in Louisiana arrested after their vehicle was repossessed and drugs and a gun were found inside. And it wasn't a personal stash. Detectives found more than 9 pounds of marijuana, 18 grams of mushrooms, ecstasy pills. There was also packaging material for street distribution and a handgun.
No, that's for personal use.
They were arrested when they showed up at the storage yard to, quote, receive their personal belongings. Said their car towed, knew all that stuff was in there, and then went to go get it back.
I mean, when you get your car towed, is it, I mean, do they have the right to go through it?
The car lot?
The tower.
I think if you leave it there and it becomes their property, they will. But I know my buddy, he got towed, and we're out in LA at the time, and so we had to go over there. He just grabbed he had some drum stuff in there. He got that out of there, and then it was so expensive to get it out of the lot. He just left it because the car wasn't worth it.
Well, you go to the tow yard and go, I can just get my drugs out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just need drugs.
Yeah, my 9 pounds of marijuana.
Well, you know, they went up there thinking the guy was going to be a bro and be like, hey, can I just get my personal effects?
Well, so they got their
hook you
car.
up.
They got their car towed and impounded because they didn't make the payments on it.
Oh,
So not only did they blow their car payment money on a massive drug supply, but they also failed to make enough money drug dealing to make those payments. And they stored their inventory in the car that was at risk of being repoed.
well, how am I supposed to get the money
Smart.
if I don't get my, quote, personal effects? Once I get my personal things, I'll be able to give you the money.
I had a friend that lives here drive to New York. No, excuse me, Philadelphia. From here, from St. Louis. How many states is that?
Couple, 2, 3.
6 or 7, right?
Yeah, over. It's a 14-hour drive.
Backpack full of drugs. Expired tags, gets towed in Philly. Goes to get his car. They won't give it to him because the tags are expired. So you can't get it back. He parked in a hydrant or something. I don't even know what he did.
Right.
So he has to fly back here.
Sans drugs.
And car.
And car.
Sober.
Get plates. pay for a flight back to Philly to then get his car and drive back across 7 state lines.
With his drugs in the car.
With his drugs in the
Nice.
car.
And they stayed?
Yeah, they were in there.
Whoa.
The tangled
there.
web we weave.
And I'm like, because he couldn't take him on a plane.
Right.
So I think what happened was the guy let him get it. They let him get his backpack. And then he found out he couldn't get his car, and he had to ask to put his backpack back in the car.
Store it.
To store it until he could fly back and get it.
Hey, man, I can't fly with this Jan Sports.
Those are Friday Fail Stories. Hey, don't forget you are listening for Alice in Chains. All day long today from 6 a.m. to midnight, and then all weekend long from 6 to midnight. Anytime you hear an Alice in Chains song,
You will go from 6 to midnight.
Yeah.
anytime you hear an Alice in Chains song, you will open up your 105.7 The Point mobile app. You will see my face, and there will be
And go from 6 to midnight.
and there will be a place that you should. It would say tap this space.
Yeah, tap the man in the box there.
Tap the spot, and then you have a chance to win $1,000, and you have a chance to co-host the morning show. So, like right now, I'm playing
Listen
Alice in
closely.
Chains. Open up your mobile app, see my face, tap my face, chance to win $1,000.
Yes.
Chance to co-host the morning show.
Try more than once before you email us.
Yes, and everything should be fine today.
Everything should be copacetic, baby.
Good
Tap
luck.
his face?
Thank you very much. It's the Rizz Show.
The Rizzuto Show.
It's 105.7 The Point, Donnie Fandango backstage, way back Point Fest, Goldfinger, and we got everybody. How you
whole
guys doing?
band.
It's great to have
Woo! Thanks for having us.
Well, and welcome back to St. Louis. I know specifically people were absolutely stoked to see you guys and have you guys back here. And, you know, our buddy Moon is waving that Goldfinger flag when you guys aren't here, man.
Moon rules.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've known Moon way before Moon.
Thanks,
yeah.
buddy.
He's a really good man and an incredible musician, and it's an honor to have him in the band with us. Really, really incredible.
You know,
Thanks, John.
and I say this, and we're going to do this. We're going to make him feel uncomfortable. We're going to talk about him right in front of him, all right? But you have access to probably thousands of musicians. Moon, we see what Moon does with Greek Fire and things. What was it about him that you wanted to bring him into Goldfinger? Obviously, he can do a lot of stuff, so I would assume that. He's a good-looking dude. There's that, too.
The first conversation I think I ever had with Moon was, would you make out with Sting? And his answer was, of course, yes.
Yeah,
of course.
in an instant.
Yeah.
Can I get an autograph,
and
too?
we both were in agreement that we would both jerk him off. And that was actually what we were talking
That
about.
actually is
Wasn't
true.
about making out.
Yeah.
It's about...
Yeah, you had the poster above, and I was like, that's my dude, man. Him and Garth
And you
Brooks.
slept in the studio and wanked every night to
well,
Sting.
yeah, I didn't even tell you that. How did you know that?
My camera, I had my camera on you.
Man.
So I was wanking to you, wanking to him.
One question that I have is, we see you guys do these little pockets of tours here and there, and I know you guys all have day jobs in which that you do with other bands and producing and things, but why don't you guys do more? It seems like when you do, people are freaking pumped when you're playing shows and putting out a record. Is it just a matter of timing, I would assume, with all of the other projects that you have going on?
Well, I mean, look, there is a bunch of factors, including my knees are not 18 years old anymore, and we all of us. I mean, I'm probably the oldest guy in the band. I mean, our boy Nick Gross here on drums is our youngest member, who's got
16.
very healthy knees, but only one testicle, and that's okay though.
Yeah,
it's
all
a
right.
big testicle.
It's large and in charge.
Hey, that's good,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It's just good that you make use of whatever it is that you have.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I'm
true.
saying?
It's true. It gets the job done.
And that's all that matters.
He's about to have a baby, so it works perfectly well.
work-
Yeah, it worked great. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yesterday I was mowing the lawn, listening to The Knife. What a freaking great record. What an absolutely amazing record. How long did it take you guys to put that together? And when will we hear any more new music from Goldfinger?
It's a great question. I mean, look, that record was 10 years since Hello Destiny, 8 years, maybe 8 years since then. So I had written a bunch of songs that I knew I write for a lot of other groups, and I knew that these songs specifically would not work for these other artists I was producing, and I kind of held them in my back pocket. And then in the end, I kind of wrote maybe 7 songs that I felt like could round out a record, and then Mike and Phil played on the record. Charlie just rejoined the band, Charlie Paulson from 1994.
Charlie Paulson.
Good to have you back.
Charlie
Love
Paulson.
you, Charlie. He's played, how many shows have you played now with us?
Back 5.
I know that I've said this to you guys before. I was talking to you here at this venue when you got arrested at the Warped Tour back in 95 or 96 or whatever.
Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier.
You guys gave us passes, me and my college radio buddies, because nobody else would. Thank you for that. And before your set, we'd interviewed you. You said, come back after the set. So we did. And we were talking to you guys. And as I'm talking to you, I can see the Maryland Heights police and a golf cart coming up. And I was like, oh, I know what's going to happen here. But it was legitimately the first time I'd ever been backstage and thought, this shit happens like this all the time. I have to have this job. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was unbelievable. Do you remember that
I
day?
totally remember that. Yeah, absolutely.
Did you spend the night in jail? Like,
it wasn't John or I. It was our drummer.
Right. No.
And Fletcher, the guitar player from Pennywise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I remember he was telling people to pull the barricade down.
All right, no issues tapping the app today. Alice in Chains. You open up that Point Mobile app. You hit my face. You chance to win $1,000 and a chance to co-host the morning show. So one grand prize winner will be randomly selected out of all the entries received between Monday, this past Monday, and Sunday. I will let you know if you won. Monday's week, well, it's Lern. So Lern gets to pick starting Monday, all the bands. So it's Lern, and then Moon, and then Rafe, and then Scott. So face the music, a chance to win $1,000, and your chance to co-host the morning show. All right, up after the break, we are going to play
Bad movie descriptions.
Bad movie descriptions. All right, so you got a chance to win tickets to go see Ghost on July 30th over at Enterprise. Tickets go on sale for that today at 10 a.m. I think we have a pair of tickets left for that show. We got tickets to go see AWOL Nation, Point Ho Ho Show December 10th over at the Pageant. And we got tickets to go see Franz Ferdinand, Point Ho Ho Show December 11th at the Pageant. So you are going to give a very bad movie description.
That's right. It is a popular movie that should be in the American zeitgeist. There's not going to be any French films in here. I will give you a bad movie description, and it's in there. You just have to change the way your brain thinks about the movie a little bit. Listen closely. You can choose someone in the room to guess for you if you so choose, but it's legally binding.
Some help.
It's legally binding, so you decide. They're in there.
We'll go through three. If you get three misses, we'll finally give you the answer. We'll go through three callers. We'll go through three phone callers. You get one guess at it.
One and done.
One and done. If you get it right, you get the tickets. If you get it wrong, we're moving on.
That's right.
So bad movie descriptions, 314-624-3833 or 618-398-3833. We'll play next. All right, it's 8:52. It is Friday. Traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Traffic is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. The highways are clear. Your Point forecast, clear skies. High of 62. Right now it's 46 at the Point Studio.
All right, it's Rizz. It's Jeff Burton backstage at Point Fest with Eric and Jeff from Stone Temple Pilots.
All right, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
You seem like you're like a morning radio show where you're all
A
amped
lot
up
of-
on caffeine.
Did you know I do a morning radio show?
do?
Yeah.
All right.
And a lot of cocaine.
Yeah. Hey,
Good morning. Actually, good afternoon. Hi.
it's kind of morning. That's why
To
I'm
me,
commenting
yeah.
on that. Yeah.
So how have the shows been so far? I mean, Jeff's the new guy. So what hazing has been going on, or any?
Did you ever see Full Metal Jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bars of soap and
Yeah.
socks?
No, we haven't been doing that. But I just wondered if you saw the movie.
Of course I did.
It's a great movie.
He's
And
just a big fan of the movie.
I thought we were going to talk about Stanley Kubrick today because that.
Oh, we
you know,
can. We
yeah,
can. What do you want to know?
Just how great he was.
He was great.
Yeah.
He was great. No, seriously, no hazing? We don't do any of that stuff still?
No,
or are we too
he's-
old for that?
We're not never too old for that. It's,
You're just not talking about it, is what it
yeah.
is.
Well, no, and he's doing such a great job. So.
He is.
Yeah.
He is fantastic. And
Yeah.
one of the things about being the new guy, and I've been the new guy before, talk about reaction from the fans, reaction from everybody else being that new guy.
Yeah, ultimately, that's not even up to me, so it's not something I can really control. All I can really control is going out there and just presenting STP at the best of my ability, which is all I really try to do. I'm not trying to be anything I'm not. Just try to go up there and do the songs justice and do them the way they made me feel when I heard them. You know, growing up and through my musical journeys, listening to Stone Temple Pilots had a huge influence on me. So.
Who did you listen to growing up?
Oh man, with Simon and Garfunkel, Gordon Lightfoot, the Carpenters. My dad's record collection was very instrumental in my songwriting and my base of where I started from. And then, as I got older and was in bands, I was always the guitar player. I never wanted to be the center of attention. It's funny how that works out, but it was when Core came out. It was the same year that was the year I put down the guitar for a whole year and didn't pick one up, and all I did was concentrate on vocals. And it wasn't because of them, but it just happened to be that same time, and front men like Scott and people like that, and just seeing how that worked and how great it was. And I'm like, you know what? That's what I want to do.
So what's great is he was just mentioning his influences and when he was growing up with Simon Garfunkel and Gordon Lightfoot, and then you throw in Fleetwood Mac, Elton John, stuff that was pop in the 70s. When I was a kid, it was more of a singer-songwriter kind of influence, even though that was considered pop radio. But that's what we all grew up on. So that whole concept of the songwriting, the presentation, that's deep in our DNA. So I think making it about the song. And make it about the song. I think he's just kind of tapping into that.
So the new record came out last month, which congratulations. I mean, it sounds great. The reviews have been amazing on it. I'm sure there was there a hesitation to even keep the name Stone Temple Pilots moving forward?
No, not at all.
I mean, was there much backlash? Or did you hear about it? I mean,
I didn't hear about it. I read about it, but I didn't hear about it.
So, I mean,
no one would say that to my face, but they, but the little trolls would be on there just typing away, just going, all right, this is cool, this is cool.
Was it always a thing like, hey, we're going to keep on moving forward with the Stone Temple Pilots name? Or was there even a thought of, hey, Scott's not here anymore, Chester's not here anymore?
No, we have such deep love and respect for him, but it was, as far as moving forward, that's a whole different topic. But we definitely every day, we talk about Chester and talk about Scott and how much we appreciate them as artists, as humans, and what they contributed and the times we had together. Yeah.
Was there even a thought of saying that's it, it's over?
Oh yeah.
So what was the decision to keep moving forward?
It's just when you come out of the depression, when you come out of the sadness.
Because there was a lot of sadness and sorrow.
Yeah. I mean, you think about everything. It's like it's just kind of like any breakup would be, where you're totally depressed and you hate yourself, you hate everything, you hate the world, and you just kind of come out of that.
I love promoting Sauce on the Side because since they came into town 12 years ago and they've boomed the market with calzones, I love just supporting a local company that makes deliciousness, and that's what Sauce on the Side is all about. And now any other day, I would say go to Sauce on the Side, but today is National Calzone Day. Who doesn't love a calzone? Full of all of the most delicious things you would possibly want inside of dough, okay? And you can customize a calzone. You can get a meat-filled calzone, a vegetarian one, a gluten-free calzone, which is very important. And out of all the days of the year, today is National Calzone Day. So please go to your local Sauce on the Side, not only for just the deliciousness and eating locally, but you could possibly win free calzones for an entire year. And if not that, then thousands of dollars in other rewards, like up to $100 in calzone cash, as well as discounts whenever you are making future purchases just by signing up using the rewards at Sauce on the Side today. Now, if you want to see which location is closest to you, sauceontheside.com. That's also where you can sign up to become a loyalty member, which is what you want to do before you actually eat there today, so you can get those points and possibly win big. All right. So this is happening today for National Calzone Day. I hope that you get a delicious calzone in your mouth, and I hope you win big with Sauce on the Side.
We are backstage at Point Fest, and what a day in which this has been already.
Oh, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, joined by Hailstorm.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much. It's great to see you guys.
Our invisible third member. Yes,
Hey,
yes,
how
yes.
you doing?
We're the hail half of Hailstorm.
I have to tell you this, and I know you don't remember this because it's been years and years and years, and I don't even remember how many years at this point. But the very first time that you came through the Point, you were on my when I was doing mornings at that time.
Yes,
And it really seems like a decade ago, and it might have been.
It might have been. I don't know. Time is very elastic right now.
Absolutely.
It's like it went by like that fast, but it feels like a different lifetime.
Have you guys ever heard of the infinite monkey theorem?
Sorry, what?
The infinite one?
The infinite monkey theorem.
Yeah, you need the weekend off. You've gone too far down the rabbit hole of the internet.
This is the idea. This is the idea that on a long enough time scale, even a monkey hitting random keys random keys on a typewriter could type the complete works of Shakespeare.
Oh, like eventually the letters will
Eventually, so that's the infinite monkey theorem. It's the idea that on a long enough time scale, even a monkey hitting random keys could type the complete works of Shakespeare.
I mean, yeah, billions of years. Like, what's the time scale?
Yeah, and are you mething out the chimpanzee so it's typing
24/7.
Yeah, 24/7 all the time.
No, and paper, infinite paper. Just have to change the ribbon.
Stop thinking too much into it.
Are you saying
No,
that they
man.
actually tried to calculate this?
That's what it is. The infinite monkey theorem is enough. If you give enough time,
Anything will happen.
anything will happen. But this study just found that's not true. Basically, they assumed a rather productive typing speed of 1 key every second until the end of the universe. So it's like 1 followed by 100 zeros. That's how long it would take. So the universe
Okay.
wouldn't even be around.
And that is what separates us from animals.
Yes. Now, the results reveal that it is possible for a single chimp to type the word bananas in its own lifetime.
Bananas.
Yeah.
Now, wait a second. We're talking about in concurrent order, right? Like you're saying, like
Spell the
like
word bananas.
accidentally say B-A-N-A-N.
Eventually, if you put a keyboard
And think about how much easier that is, because if his fingers get stuck, the N is next to the A. I'm sorry, the N is next to the B. So that's a ba 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 ba. You know what I mean? Like a back and forth. And that is maybe possible, you say?
and yeah, maybe possible. About a 5% chance. That in a monkey's lifetime, it could type out the word bananas if you stick a keyboard in front of them.
On accident.
But the complete works of Shakespeare, which I've heard of this before. There's not enough time in the universe. Every star in the universe would burn out long before it would happen.
Yep.
Shakespeare's entire works is around 884,000 words. Not going to happen.
Sounds right.
So there you go. Now you know everything,
Thank
guys. Put that in your pocket. The infinite
I knew it.
monkey theorem is garbage.
I feel better now.
Trash.
Trash. All right. Anyway, it's time to give away some stuff. We've got tickets to go see Ghost. 1 pair of tickets left. July 30th, Enterprise Center. Tickets go on sale today at 10 a.m. We got tickets to go see AWOL Nation, Point Ho-Ho Show, December 10th at the pageant. We got tickets to go see Franz Ferdinand, Ho-Ho Show, December 11th at the pageant. So the game we're playing is bad movie descriptions.
That's right.
So Rafe's going to read you a description of a movie. It's going to be tough, and you just have to figure out what movie it is. That's it.
That's it.
Figure out what movie it is. One right, you win.
One and done. You get one guess. You can defer to someone in the room if you feel like you absolutely cannot fathom a guess.
At least think about it and try yourself.
Give it a second. Yeah. I'll give you an example. For those in the room and those listening. Bad movie description. Literally, the game is in the title. I want to give you a description of a movie. It's bad, but the movie's in there if you listen. And you just think a little differently. Here we go. A paranoid businessman is wary of an illegal immigrant but spares his life because their mommies have the same name.
Moon?
Man, a paranoid businessman.
A paranoid businessman is wary of an illegal immigrant but spares his life because their mommies have the same name.
Oh my gosh, dude! I don't know. I'm going through like alien things. So
Yeah, an illegal immigrant.
Right. So
An
I'm like,
alien.
On the right
I'm
track.
like, is this Men in Black? And then I thought, okay, spares his life because his mommy has the same name.
Can you tell, like, if we were starting to work this out, can you tell us if we're on the right track or not?
I just said you were.
No, but I'm just saying, with the contest.
A paranoid businessman.
It depends.
That's got to be.
I'll tell you in the sample.
So that'll take out Men in Black. That'll take out Alien.
Yeah, if you're working to work through it, you know.
A paranoid business.
Paranoid businessman, illegal immigrant, we're okay, it's an alien.
Correct. You're on the right track.
Mommy of the same name.
I think that's something that we have to unpack after we get the paranoid businessman thing. Paranoid businessman? There's something
What
in there
is
that's
that
going to be
one?
so obvious, but it's so obnoxiously difficult right now.
All right, go ahead.
The chat's got it. Chat's all over it.
What is it?
What is it?
Batman versus Superman.
Oh,
Golly.
Why did you say that name? Martha. Why did you say that name? I'm not very familiar with that.
I don't know what that is.
Well,
I don't
a
know
lot of
that
people
movie.
were.
I
Good
know.
job, chat.
The chat got it.
About 20 people in the chat.
We'll go through. If you miss three, like if 3 calls in a row miss it, we'll just give it to you.
Yeah.
All right, 314-624-3833, 618-398-3833. Let's go to Justin in Granite City. Justin, hello. Justin, hello.
We're off.
Justin, goodbye.
Great
John, hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, John. Okay, here we go. Here is your bad movie description.
John, good luck.
Thanks.
A Nepo baby with a skilled father gets an unearned promotion and joins a team to explore unknown places.
A what baby?
A Nepo baby.
Like a nepotist baby?
That is correct. An N-E-P-O, a Nepo baby with a skilled father gets an unearned promotion and joins a team to explore unknown places.
Anything, John?
I know it.
Ooh.
I think I got it.
Unfortunately, I knew the Batman versus Superman one like as soon as you guys said it because of the name thing.
You want to go to me, John?
Sure.
Is it Star Wars?
No, bro, no.
Goodbye, John.
No, bro.
Goodbye, John.
The Nepo baby
Moon was
is...
very confident.
I got it.
The Nepo baby is
I understand
Luke
your
Skywalker.
logic. I understand.
What was it? He explores the universe?
Let's have another call.
He said explores unknown places.
Yeah, the universe.
Oh,
with his
they're all
buddies.
known. In Star Wars, it's all
His
known.
buddies.
With his buddies.
His buddies. It's 2 gay robots.
It's with his sister and a guy who acts like he doesn't like him.
Yeah.
Freddie.
Morning, fellers.
All right, Freddie. Description
Freddie.
again of the movie.
Here you go, Freddie. Freddie. A Nepo baby with a skilled father gets an unearned promotion and joins a team to explore unknown places.
Well, I'm absolutely 1,000% completely lost on this one, and Moon said he knows it.
I
So
think
I'm gonna
I think I know it. And if you're
100%.
absolutely lost, I'll get closer than you will.
Okay, go ahead, Moon.
Repeat it.
A Nepo baby with a skilled father gets an unearned promotion and joins a team to explore unknown places.
Okay,
I
here's
know it.
Oh, you do?
I think. I mean, it makes sense.
Wow.
Maybe I might have got it.
Okay, let's see. I'm writing
thought
this
you
down.
had it.
I
Here, go
did.
ahead and-
This is what I think it could be, especially since he did the superhero one already.
He seemed
Do
very.
you think that's it, Scott?
I can't,
Can't see that.
He seemed very.
Too bright.
It rhymes with Iron
Okay.
Man.
Is it... That's your answer. Is it Iron Man?
It is not Iron
Gosh,
Man.
dang it, I'm sorry.
You guys are tiptoeing all around it.
I think I got it, though.
Dwight.
Hello.
Hello.
You're the
Dwight.
last hope.
Dwight, do you
Good
think...
morning. Happy birthday, Rizz.
Thanks, buddy. You think you got it?
Don't know.
All right, Dwight, listen closely. And King Scott thinks he knows it, but so did Rizz and Moon. So you decide.
I know.
Star Wars. No.
Iron
Okay.
Man.
I think it's
A Nepo baby with a skilled father gets an unearned promotion and joins a team to explore unknown places.
You saw my my logic, right, Rizz?
Yeah.
He joins his friends, you know, the Avengers.
All right, do you
I
think...
am completely lost here. I'm gonna go to King Scott on
All
this
right,
one.
King Scott,
All right,
the clues
buddy.
are in there, buddy.
Deliver it. What
this
do you
one
got?
matches that description, so we'll see.
Let's
I'm going to
go.
say Tommy Boy.
No,
He laughs at you.
no.
What
that's-
the heck?
Perfect, because they go all over the...
A Nepo baby
And,
earns an
that was 3.
unearned
So
promotion.
Which he does.
It does line up.
and joins his friends.
Well, his friend.
His friend.
Oh, it just says friend.
No,
Nope, it says friends, plural.
Joins his friends.
Says joins
well,
the
the girl
team,
works,
actually.
His girlfriend
Joins a
works
team.
there, too.
Joins a
Joins a team.
team.
What-
to
and the answer
explore
is?
No.
No,
Give
we
us
need the answer.
Give us another clue.
I mean, it's all there. A Nepo baby with a skilled pilot father. How's that?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
Nope.
Ah!
Getting closer, though.
It is a super. Is it in the superhero?
You were the closest so far.
Really?
You were one word off.
Star Trek?
There you go. Star Trek.
Who's the Nepo baby?
Kirk. Captain Kirk's dad was a famous pilot. He gets promoted to captain after an accident
Oh, none of us knew that.
in unknown places.
Oh. You know, I
It's
feel,
literally in the description of Star Trek.
Oh, I
I
didn't
feel
know.
less bad
I
about
know.
getting that wrong now.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
thought that
for
was
sure.
the chat was crushing it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well,
Well,
next
toots.
one. Next one. Next
Well,
one.
we don't win them all, guys.
I know.
Out of the gate, man.
Daddy.
A toughie.
Eddie.
Hey, how we doing?
All right, Eddie. Here we go.
We're not doing well.
Here we
That's
go.
how we're not doing.
Hey, energy up.
All
Yeah,
right,
energy up.
is
Let's get some
Here we go.
answers
It's
up.
Friday.
Eddie, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's make some spaghetti. A nudist with an endless supply of one-liners becomes the ultimate babysitter.
I'm on the radio. Give me 1 second.
A nudist. A nudist.
You're on the radio? Are you calling in from a
No,
competing
No,
show?
he was talking
I
to
own a
somebody
dog
else.
shop, and somebody just came in, and I'm
Yeah, tell him to
trying to do
relax.
the best I can.
Chill, bro.
Tell him to chill.
Go-
Hey, free milk bone.
A
Calm
nudist?
down.
A nudist. Ask them.
Say it
A
again.
nudist with an endless supply of
listening.
one-liners becomes the ultimate babysitter.
Is it Naked Gun?
No, it's not Naked Gun. Sorry, buddy.
Nobody ever got naked. in
Dude, you know what I think this is? Oh,
Calm down. Save it for the next caller.
You got it?
no, I don't know. I have a guess.
Okay.
I gotta.
All right.
Yes.
Give me someone new. The
Benjamin.
saddest. Somebody's getting the saddest dog groom right now.
Benjamin, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Benjamin.
Good morning. Good morning, Moon, Rafe, and King Scott.
Good
Hello.
morning,
And not
Benjamin.
me.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and Rizz.
Thank you, Benjamin. Benjamin, here we
cool.
go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Description again.
Listen closely.
All right.
A nudist with an endless supply of one-liners becomes the ultimate babysitter.
I don't have it.
Bad movie description.
Ooh, I got. Let's see.
You know,
That
what's,
is-
you know what's
Got
throwing
a
me?
very cool. Yeah, and Moon. Do you have
Moon?
anything?
No,
He's like, yo, you guys do this to callers all the time. I love it. You go, yeah.
well, I said
come
no.
on. And
I
then
said-
they
I said
call on
no.
you and be like, I have no idea.
I'm going to take a shot, okay? I'm going
Do
to
you
take a
know what
shot at it.
Well,
I'm going to take a shot.
Do you want Moon or Rizz to take a shot? Let's at least have some order to the
Benjamin's
chaos.
got no answer.
Benjamin, who do you want?
Let's see. Who do I like better?
Don't know.
I like
Rizz
tough
better.
one. You know what? If you got Rizz, I'm going to go with you.
I don't know if I. Do you have an answer?
Benjamin, do you have an answer?
I have something, but I got nothing.
Okay.
So you want to take a shot? I'm taking a shot in the dark here. Is it Mrs. Doubtfire?
It is not Mrs. Doubtfire.
Sorry.
My goodness.
Sandy.
I thought this was going to be a dunker.
Sandy.
Yes.
Do you have an
Sandy.
answer?
Sandy, let me read it for you one more time.
Okay.
A nudist with an endless supply of one-liners becomes the ultimate babysitter.
Get Moon help.
Get Moon's
Can Moon help.
Oh no,
scan QR code Moon for help. All right.
dude.
Give me what you got, Moon Valjean.
Okay, so nudist makes me think this is either, again, an alien or an animal, right? So follow me along. I'm thinking like 101 Dalmatians, but then, you know what throws it off? With an endless supply of one-liners. So that takes me back to...
That's why I thought like Robin Williams.
What, you just had an idea?
Wait,
You
say
had a
the
light bulb?
description again.
A nudist with an endless supply of one-liners becomes the ultimate babysitter.
I thought it was going to be like Aladdin.
It's there, boys. It's all
It's
right there.
It's there. An endless supply. Is it a kids movie? Can you just tell us? Is it a kids movie?
I would say, I'll give you this. I don't think it's a kid's movie in the terms of you're thinking it's a kid's movie. No.
Sandy, you got nothing?
So my first thought was Beethoven's Fifth. You know,
It's
like
a popular
It's going to
movie.
be Beethoven's Fifth.
But I know. I'm trying to think of animals that have suddenly had to deal with a bunch of
It's
kids.
a person. I'll give you that. I'll give you guys that hint.
It's a person. Okay, it's not an animal.
It's not a misdirection.
It's got to be some sort of like invisible man or something like that, right? Like a. Gosh, dang, this is tough, dude. This is so tough.
Oh man!
All right,
Go ahead. Just give an answer.
Wait,
Terminator.
Is it Terminator?
Tooth Fairy?
hold on,
Sandy, don't say the Tooth Fairy. That's
Moon's
a stupid
guessing.
answer.
I would need you to be more specific.
More specific. Terminator 2.
It is Terminator
All right.
2: Judgment Day.
Oh my God. You said person,
All right,
and I was
Sandy,
like,
we're
there's
gonna
no way
pretend you
it's a
didn't say.
person.
We're gonna pretend you didn't say the Tooth Fairy. Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Also, Steady. Judgment Day. Terminator 2. He arrives naked, and he
Yeah.
has endless supply of one-liners, and he babysits John Connor
Yeah,
through the
you're
entire
right.
film.
You're right.
Oh my
You're right.
God.
Your false opponents are dead.
Yeah, I was trying to think robots, animals.
You were on the right track.
aliens.
You're working it out the right way.
Sandy
You're just one small little left turn.
The
Bobby.
newest thing was
Hey, how you guys doing? Morning.
All right, Bobby. Good morning. Here is your
nudist.
movie description.
Bobby,
What's up?
what's up, dude?
All right, here we
I'm
go.
about to blow your mind, Bobby. Here we go, pal. A family moves into a winter fixer-upper, but dad's work-from-home office setup is plagued by child care issues. A family moves into a winter fixer-upper, but dad's work-from-home office is plagued by child care issues.
Gosh, I need help on that. I know it has Eddie Murphy in it.
Do you?
Yes, but I forget the name of the movie.
Seems to know it.
Moon,
Seems
can
to
you help me?
disagree.
Yes, I can help you. Show me Beetlejuice.
Ooh, no, not
No. No.
I love.
You
I
just-
love what. I love the confidence too. Like when I had Star Wars.
I'm flabbergasted.
Beetlejuice.
You described Beetlejuice.
Yes, there. Perhaps.
Half a point?
I'll give you half a point.
Pride
half a
points. Thank
point.
you. Pride
You're on
points.
the right track.
Justin, hello.
Hello.
All right, Justin. The description again.
Justin, a family moves into a winter fixer-upper, but dad's work-from-home office setup
duh.
is plagued by child care issues.
You know this, dude. Come on. Come on, man. You know this.
Is it a Christmas? Can you give me a hint? Is it a Christmas movie?
No.
Right?
Yeah, that's it. You want to go to Rizz?
Yes, let's go.
It's. Show me. The Shining.
Indeed, it is
The Shining.
Nice.
Nice.
You can thank Moon for that because I have no idea.
Sorry
Tis
about
The
Beetlejuice.
Shining.
It's The Shining.
You know what I blew?
It was in there.
I didn't hear winter. And
Yeah.
when he said winter, I was like,
That's why I put it in there.
Yeah.
I wanted it was going to be the discerning detail
Let's
between
do
Beetlejuice.
one more time.
Oh, this is so hard. But
One
so
more
good.
time.
Brian, hello.
Hello. Good morning.
All right, good morning, Brian. Here we go. Your bad movie description.
Brian, a man watches his wife die and only son be disabled after a brutal attack on his front lawn. Years later, the son is kidnapped. He travels many miles in search of his son with the help of strangers he meets along the way.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to go to somebody to help me, or just go to the next caller.
Okay, wait. Let's hear it again.
A man watches his wife die and only son be disabled after a brutal attack on his own front lawn. Years later, the son is kidnapped and he travels many miles in search of his son with the help of strangers he meets along the way.
Sorry to do it again, but one more repeat.
A man.
Maybe-
Well, hold on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. A man watches his wife die and son be disabled after a brutal attack on his own front lawn. Years later, his son is kidnapped and he travels many miles in search of his son with the help of strangers he meets along the way.
Well, maybe this one could be Star Wars.
Show me. Is this your final answer?
Let's go. Final answer.
Show me.
Bye-bye. Everyone.
Oh my
Apparently
gosh.
all of these fit Star Wars.
That's why it's so darn good.
A woman turns herself into a prostitute to support a struggling daycare. Star Wars.
Jared, you think you got it?
A woman is killed.
No, I don't think I got it, but you guys got to help me out.
Oh,
So a woman is killed.
A man watches his wife die and his son be
disabled.
disabled in a brutal attack on his own front lawn. Years later, the son is kidnapped, and he travels many miles to search for his son with the help of strangers along the way.
got it. Got it. Jared, go to me.
All right.
Show me
Go
Finding Nemo.
It is Finding Nemo.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes, you're right.
There
The
you
fin.
go.
Yep.
Jared.
Oh, well done.
Woo! Woo!
Just got to change the way you think a little bit.
I know.
It's in there, dude. That is the plot of Finding Nemo,
It is.
by the way.
Are we out of them?
You want to do one more?
I got more.
Yeah, are you crazy? I
Well,
want
this
to
is
do
it.
this
One
all
more.
day.
One more. Corey.
I've got 4 more. We can keep going
Corey.
for as long as you guys want to go.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
All right, Corey, here we go.
All right, Corey, here we go. A man steals a car and returns to his hometown and tries to use the magic of the holiday spirit to reconnect with his estranged sister.
Ooh.
Say it again.
Moon, can you help me out?
A man steals a car and returns to his hometown and tries to use the magic of the holiday spirit to reconnect with his estranged sister.
Yeah.
A man steals a car. Okay, so I went
Steals
to
a
Back to the
car.
Future there, but it can't be that it's not a holiday thing, right? No. Holiday to recapture the holiday spirit. A man steals a car. Okay, Santa. So he's maybe stealing a sleigh. Is this? Okay, so he's laughing, throwing me in another direction.
No, I was looking at the chat and how wildly off some of these guesses are.
A man steals a car. Let's start there. Man steals a car. Could that be a sleigh? Could that be a time machine? Could that be an actual car, a motor
Could
vehicle?
be an actual car. Could just be a small detail that needed to be added.
Repeat one more time, and then I won't make you do
A man steals a car and returns to his hometown and tries to use the magic of the holiday spirit to reconnect with his estranged sister.
Star Wars?
Show me.
Dude, you're not going to believe this, but it is not Star Wars. See you later.
I was making it make sense in my head.
Oh, man.
Lisa, you think you got it?
Happy birthday, Rizz.
Thanks.
No, I'm thinking, I have no clue.
This should be obvious, but
Man, can you repeat it one more time?
a man steals a car and returns to his hometown and tries to use the magic of the holiday spirit to reconnect with his estranged sister.
Strange sister.
Now, you're saying holiday, not necessarily Christmas.
That's true.
Oh, that's a great.
Not necessarily
point.
Christmas. Holiday spirit, and spirit could be a ghost of some kind. Right?
Yeah, and a strange
You're really
sister.
working this out for them.
A strange sister.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
A strange sister.
Do you have a guess, or do you want to throw to somebody?
I'll guess.
Go ahead.
All right.
Uncle Buck?
No, not Uncle Buck. Way to really follow Rizz's line of reasoning. Could be a ghost, could be
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck, the ghost of John
Buck.
Candy.
Steals a car.
All right, we're down to the last
That's
one.
it.
We've had a Star Wars.
Richard,
Uncle
hello.
Buck.
Man.
Richard, do you think you got it?
Hey.
Let me hear it again.
All right, Richard, listen closely because it is in there. A man steals a car and returns to his hometown and tries to use the magic of the holiday spirit to reconnect with his estranged sister.
Oh, that is a weird one.
It is a weird one.
Scott, you think you got it?
I do not yet.
Dude, this is the hardest one,
Trying to
right?
get
Is
it-
this the hardest
trying
one?
I thought this was going to be a very easy one, but
I think
you guys were working it out. You were starting to get there.
Really?
Okay, I think I got it. I got it. You want to go throw it to me?
Do you trust him, or do you want to seal your own fate,
I
bud?
think I got it.
Hell yeah, I trust Rizz. Come
All
on,
right,
Rizz.
is it
give to me.
Halloween?
It is Halloween.
Ah!
Oh, I've never seen that. What's the car?
Michael Myers steals a car at the mental institution.
And his sister is Jamie Lee Curtis.
He drives back to
I didn't know
Haddonfield,
that. You're
Illinois,
kidding.
and he
Wait.
tries to use the magic of
Did you just-
Halloween.
Right.
Now I don't have to.
Was that a spoiler?
Now I don't have to watch it.
Yeah, that's a spoiler.
Reconnect and kill Jamie Lee Curtis,
Yeah,
who
sorry.
you find out is his estranged sister in Halloween 2.
Hey, great guess.
Great guess, man. These were good. These were. I
Well
think
done,
I found
Rafe.
my sweet
Well done.
spot. Yeah.
Well done, Rafe.
You guys did great.
I will take a break. Sports
Congrats to the winners.
next. It's 9:25. It is
boy.
Friday. Traffic and weather. Moon coming at you.
Traffic is brought to you by Golden Oak Lending. Do you need extra cash? Golden Oak Lending can convert your home's equity into cash in as little as 14 days. Let Golden Oak Lending cure your blues. The highways are clear. Your point forecast clear skies. High of 62. Right now it is 47 at the Point Studio.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4, 5, 6, 7.
Ready to roll? We are backstage at Point Fest. Ladies and gentlemen, Brent and Barry from Shinedown. What's up, gentlemen?
Well,
How are
hello.
you?
What's going on? How are you?
It's great to see you. It's great to see you.
to
First
see
of
you.
all,
Thanks for being cool with us because I was super, super late. I was very, very late. Some things in rock and roll haven't changed. The singers are usually late.
now listen, if we're going to do it, you are 18 minutes behind. I don't think that that's even late as far as rock stars go. I think that's just about flat.
All right, we'll take that.
We can take that.
Yeah.
I don't know if do we look at ourselves as, the RS, the rock star type?
You don't have to. I appreciate that you don't, but I do, and I can.
I
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
it. The reason I am late though is because I needed to take a shower because, quite frankly, I smelled like a farm animal. So I wanted to make sure that we were good today.
So see, the 18 minutes late is completely acceptable, and I do appreciate it.
Oh, you should, because I had to be next to him. It was not good.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on the record.
Thank you.
I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. The song Devil has been doing amazing things for the radio station. People loved it as soon as we put it on the air. There is something so great, and it just has that sort of anthemic quality about it. Where did that song fall in the recording of this particular record? Was that one of your first ones that came about?
It came about probably right in the middle. There were a lot of things about and are, in regards to Attention, the new album. We did things a little differently this time. We've had the pleasure of working with a lot of producers, a lot of great engineers, male and female. But it was time for us to do it in-house. So our bass player, Eric Bass, who is quite frankly, way more than a bass player. He produced Attention. He also mixed it. And so the dynamic of everything, too, is that it is a conceptual piece of work, but not in the traditional sense. We call it a story album because everything takes place inside of a room on the record. The goal is to put the audience and the listener into this room to take this journey. And Devil is basically the beginning of this journey because we don't look at it as like the story starts off at rock bottom, but the fact is this individual that is inside the story has come to a place in their life where if they don't confront what's inside of them that could potentially sabotage them, their family, and quite frankly, their actual life in general, they're gonna have to face these demons basically. So Devil starts the beginning of the story of Attention, but the actual song was probably written about middle of the way in the recording process or the writing process, I should say.
And there's a lot going on here because you recorded at Eric's studio, which was not a commercial studio that normally does this kind of thing, correct?
It is a commercial studio for him. He's done a lot
okay.
of stuff there. In
Okay.
fact, when we met Eric 10 years ago, 11 years ago, when we were doing Sound of Madness, we were writing for Sound of Madness, and we actually went to his studio to write. We didn't know him. He was just a producer at that studio, and we wrote at that studio. And then, things happened and changed, and we said, what about that guy? Because he's extremely smart and a great producer. He was a producer first, came into us as the bass player.
Sure.
So, but he's done other records out of there, and other records have been done out of there even when he's not home. But it's not one of the, it's his place. So he has ownership of it. He built it. And this was actually the last record done there. He's moving the studio, so this was it. This was the, it's bittersweet, but it was a great time.
Well, I watched that documentary and finding out that he's a big Ben Folds fan.
Yeah.
I am like...
An old roof, a damaged roof, or your roof is ugly, you got to call the Happy Roof Company. Call them today. Get somebody up on the roof for an inspection at least if you have an old roof. Maybe you've never had somebody up on there. Oh, listen, you're going to put the ladder on the side of the house, go up there, inspect yourself. Now, you don't know what you're looking for. I'm telling you, they'll take pictures. They'll give you a detailed inspection report for when something happens. Like there could be a hailstorm, next spring, let's say, and you have the inspection done now with pictures. You have them up again after the hailstorm. They'll take more pictures and they'll do the compare and contrast thing. And it's easy to submit to your insurance company. Like, hey, look, we have proof. The roof is damaged from this last hailstorm. Happy Roof Company, they're local. 100% of the market is in the St. Louis and surrounding areas, headquartered in Sunset Hills. When you pick up the phone and call them, somebody from St. Louis is picking up the phone. Free estimates, great pricing, roofing, siding, gutters, financing is available. A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. And they are a company I trust at my house. It's the Happy Roof Company, 314-665-3001, 314-665-3001, online at thehappyroof.com. It's the Happy Roof Company. They put the happy in happy endings.
How are you, good sir? It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, I'm doing well. We're chugging along on this tour, and it feels pretty good.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, all right, how's the knee going, man? Are you doing okay? And I would assume that Josh has done a lot of apologizing. Since
Left sports in just a moment with Rafe. Right now, some emails, RizzShow at 1057thepoint.com, or you could send us instant feedback through the 1057 The Point mobile app.
Email is brought to you by Kloss Furniture. Lowest prices guaranteed. We have something for everybody. We'll start with entertainment. Morning, Rizzuto.
Hey.
Per Moon's advice, I spent Halloween night watching Midsummer. All I can say is, what the actual F? 2.5 hours of my life I'll never get back. Not only was the movie so slow, boring, and horrendous, but what in the awkward orgy was the end? 0 out of 5 stars for the movie.
Wow, way to waste somebody's night.
Still 5 stars for the Rizz Show. Happy Friday, y'all. Vicky.
Wow. Way to ruin Vicky's Halloween.
Listen,
Where she
Vicky,
could have been doing
man,
other things.
I apologize. I've seen it once, and I will say that I thought it was great because it was super different, and it caught me off guard.
Is there a ton of nudity in it?
A ton of nudity. No, not that I remember.
Not particularly.
But this was the first time. I think I saw it in 2020, so I was in a little of a strange headspace anyway. But I will say the Florence Pugh is the first movie I'd ever seen her in, and she was so freaking good in it.
Florence Pugh, Vicky, am I right? Come on.
That my wife and I were both like, holy cow, this woman is so
It's Ari
good.
Aster. It's like one of his, he did Hereditary, then he did Midsummer.
It's got 83 on the
It's a
tomato
good
meter.
movie. It's like,
It's a great
it's
movie.
disturbing.
It is very disturbing.
It's not like a slasher film. Like if you wanted to watch like a campy slasher film, you picked the wrong movie.
So this is psychological. So it's like 83 on the for critics, 63 on the viewers.
Yeah,
it's not.
So it's
for
got
everyone.
a lower score than the viewer score. Has got a lower score than the critics.
But it's not a pile of trash.
Right,
I will say
I
that.
thought it
It's
was a
not for
good
everybody, but it's not like, I don't think it's...
A young American couple, their relationship floundering, travels to a fabled Swedish midsummer festival where a seemingly pastoral paradise transforms into a sinister, dread-soaked nightmare as the locals reveal their terrifying agenda.
It's kind of the retelling of The Wicker Man.
No.
Yeah. Because that guy goes to that little village and then it turns into all this chaos. And
this is different, though.
Yeah.
Okay,
You'll have to see
Vicky
it.
didn't like it.
No, I know it's shot different, but it's the same thing. He goes, there's a cult.
Vicky
that
hated it. And that's all that counts.
Kill people.
I thought this was a great movie. It's definitely not for everybody. And it was a curveball. And I'm not a huge horror fan anyway, but I thought it was like, oh, cool. That was not
It's weird.
what I was ready for.
And it's shot in all daylight.
Yeah. And if
That's kind of the cool caveat. It's called Midsummer because it's like they're in the Nordic area where it's like, it's all perpetual night. In Alaska, it's the opposite. It's like perpetual daytime, which is kind of weird.
All right, next.
let's do this one. Morning, ladies and gentlemen, lady and gentlemen. I'm thrilled to say I've somehow convinced a group of friends to take a field trip to Arrowhead for the Chiefs game this Monday night.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
None of us have ever
Thanks
been to a
for the
game.
invite.
None of us have ever been to a game before, so we're basically newborns in the world of tailgating and game day debauchery. I'm hoping to cash in on some elite game day expertise that you guys and even Big Terry herself possess. What are the absolute must-dos we can't afford to miss? Should we be setting up a tailgate like seasoned pros, or should we accept our rookie fate and get out grilled by some diehard superfan? Any and all advice, especially the stuff that you wouldn't read in the brochure, is welcome. Thanks for making my mornings tolerable and the rest of the day questionable. Love the show. 3 out of 5 stars. Cheers, Mr. Rogers. Sent from my buddy. My buddies and me.
I would get there early, whenever they open up the gates, just to really experience the whole thing.
Early as possible.
Early as possible. So it's a Monday Night Football game, so it's
Even better.
even better.
It's going to be, you're going to the bell of the ball. It's a night game, so the tailgate's longer. It's a Monday night game, so it's the only game of the day.
The weather probably won't be trash.
Listen, take some tailgating supplies of your own, but walk around, people watch. It's very fun and friendly. Everybody's going to have stuff out.
Yes.
You're going to see
Sponsor
people
spots.
with like Chiefs buses. Don't be afraid to ask
Make
people.
friends.
When I saw cool stuff, I'm like, hey, dude, can I check out your bus? And they're more than happy.
Yeah.
That's the thing I would say. Like some of the stuff people do for these games, the Chiefs Kingdom is awesome.
It is.
And they're friendly. They just be like, hey, man, can I check out your bus? And like they'll usually give you a tour of the bus because there's several people that have like Chiefs RVs, old school buses, completely decked out. Go and if you see somebody, just be like, hey, man,
Monday's
Chiefs
supposed
fans,
to rain in Kansas City.
let me
is
check
it?
it out.
Who cares?
There's a little.
Thunderstorms in the morning.
Well, he's literally raining on your parade right now.
Showers with a possible thunderstorm in the evening.
It looks like it's going to end around 9 p.m. So
That can all change.
Oh, great.
Never mind it.
I'm just kidding.
That can all change. That can all
It
move
says
to
Monday
Nebraska or
in
something.
Kansas City, showers with a possible thunderstorm in the evening.
Nah.
Variable clouds overnight.
It'll be
Low of
perfect.
51. Storms may contain strong gusty winds.
So take a poncho.
Yeah.
And you can also go to they opened the store up, and that's always I always see a huge line out
you'll
there.
be
Here's the
fine.
other thing
Suck
I'll-
it up. Have fun.
Other little
Just
tip.
get hammered.
Okay.
Take some Molly. Have a good time.
Yes.
Break into
Riz doesn't
Kaufman.
actually want to be helpful to you at all in this email. Go to gate 5 early. That's where the players come in. And you'll get to see like all the players come in their cool cars. Andy Reid, Travis Kelce in his drop top coupe, and you might even see, if she's attending, a little T Swift on her
No,
way
she's
into
in.
the building.
She's in.
She's in a little
Indianapolis.
smart car, right?
Yeah, she may not be there. But
She's in Indianapolis this week.
that's a fun thing to do. It's over by the Chiefs practice field. That's the gate they all come in at. There'll be people lined up, and that's the player gate where they all come in, and you can check that out if you get there early enough. And then go to Little Ford. They got like a little fan zone there that's pretty cool, and it's free. Just go in there. They got free entertainment, booze, food.
Fans.
That's if you want the boring way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I think walk around the parking lot, man. That's
Yeah, dude.
Bring
Walk
your
around.
baseball glove.
it's amazing.
Bring your baseball
Yeah,
glove.
leave it in your Uber.
Take some Molly.
Yeah, and they
Get
do.
hammered.
There'll be people playing cornhole. There'll be people playing
Dude.
catch with a football. There's people tossing around the old. It's fun, man.
I do encourage you to take your baseball glove and lose it
Yeah, that's
in
what
Kansas
happened.
City,
That's
because then
the
Rawlings will send you some
Food
gloves.
everywhere.
And
if
also-
if you see a flag that says tail or tequila gators, say hi from the Rizz Show. Those are our
Yeah.
buddies.
Oh, the boss is going
Yeah,
to
the
be
tequila
there.
gators.
The boss is
They're
going
amazing.
as well.
Oh, the boss is going to be there too? Oh.
Yeah.
Look out
Then
for the
definitely
boss.
go over there and say, hey, the Rizz Show sent us. It'll
And
make
when
us
you
look
go
good.
in the stadium, go to the fan services and tell them it's your first game. They'll make you a little certificate,
Oh, like
a
a
little
little kid.
keepsake. Yeah, I took Josh McNew, our video manager, last year, his first Chiefs game, and took him to the fan center, and they gave him a little. My first Chiefs game, gave him a sticker on his jacket.
nice.
So
My
get you a
buddy.
little
You want to see the
keepsake.
cockpit,
My
buddy?
buddy.
All
Golly.
right, let's do sports. Rafe?
Deep breath. All right, here we go. Cue the music. I'm
we
out
go.
of water.
Uh-oh, you out of water.
It's time for the Rizzuto Show Super Important Sparks Report. Brought to you by the Swami Rafe Deviled Egg Williams. Let's get hype. First up, Quidditch. That's right, folks. Brooms were flying in the National Quidditch Championship this weekend. The Hogwarts wannabes in this one. The Boston Banshees took on the Seattle Spellcasters in a high-flying showdown of bludgers, quaffles, and more sweat than you'd think is possible for a nerdy-themed gathering. James the Broom Zoom Morrison pulled off a double-beater combo, only to get blindsided by a rogue snitch that tackled him to the ground in the end. Boston's Seeker snagged the snitch for the win, proving once again, if you can dodge a bludger, you can dodge anything. Moving on, what? The St. Louis Blues, Philip, don't tase me, bro. Broberg had another assist. His career-high 9th point in a season, 2 goals, 7 assists, and just his 11th game with the Blues. That's the only good news, setting up Nathan Walker's tying goal to make it 1-1 at the 9:58 mark of the third period of a 2-1 loss against the Philadelphia Flyers. Blues square off against the Leafs tomorrow. Moving on. Whoop! Next, we're talking, you guessed it, boys, giant pumpkin kayaking. That's right, folks. This year's Pumpkin Paddle-O-Rama saw contestants in hollowed-out 800-pound pumpkins paddling down the choppy waters of the Oregon's Tulatine River. Smashing Sam Granger paddled his way into the lead, but capsized when his pumpkin hit an unexpected gorgeous whirlpool. I got caught up on my own wordplay. What? Belinda, the squash queen, Atkins took advantage, gliding to victory and the pie filling a crust. And she wasn't the only winner. Local pumpkin farmers also cleaned up, turning every contestant's wrecked pumpkin into compost for next year's race. Ta-go! Moving on, what? Bobby Costas. Big news for Bob Costas. The legendary I Love CNN Bob Costas is hanging up his MLB play-by-play headset after decades of calling the biggest games in sports. Costas announced his retirement, wrapping up a career filled with iconic moments. Sure, some critics claimed he, quote, almost nodded off, end quote, during a recent Yankees game. And he had a hot mic moment questioning whether he should do a CNN promo, saying, do I really have to? But no matter what, Costas is an absolute icon with 28 Emmys and a resume spanning 12 Olympics and nearly every major sport from boxing to NASCAR to golf to MLB. He's going out on his own terms. Costas may be stepping back from the booth, but his voice will keep echoing through sports history. Thanks for the memories, Bob. Bye-bye. What? Moving on, speaking of the Yankees, boom. After the Yankees took the L in the World Series, none other than Dishy, Derek Jeter, and A-Rod Rodriguez were all too happy to spill the tea during Fox's postgame. Jeter looking every bit the Judgy ex-captain scoffed, I don't know if I've ever seen an inning quite like this, especially in the World Series. He went on, saying the Yankees basically handed the Dodgers 6 outs in that inning. Cue A-Rod leaning in with his eyes wide, smirking, one of the greatest meltdowns I've seen in 40 years, end quote. But that didn't stop there. Steroid Rodriguez let slip that the Yankees fans have had just about enough of manager Boone. The cat claws were out, folks. These two legends were having a cat fight of the Yankees meltdown, front page tabloid treatment. Moving on. What? Finally, the one we've all been waiting for. Canal jumping. That's right. In the leaping lowlands time in Netherlands, there were competitors that took 50-foot pole vaults over canals trying to stick the landing on the far bank. This year, Hendrik the human catapult Vanderhorn went airborne with the jump so long it should have come with a parachute. But he misjudged his landing and ended up face first in the mud, but he still won the event, adding a whole new meaning to sticking the landing. Finally, moving on. Whop! The NFL. Bam! The New York Jets snapped their skid, downing the Texans 21-13. It was a pure Halloween miracle Meadowlands massacre. Aaron the Booger Man Rodriguez. Sorry. Aaron the Booger Man Rodgers started slow, just 7 for 14 in the first half, but came roaring back, finishing with 211 yards and 3 TDs. And guess what? His first end zone hookup with Devontae, hey, boo you up, Adams family, Adams. Since the big trade, CJ Stroud sacked 8 times. Didn't hit any of his top targets. Rough night for the second-year rookie. Red zone disasters all around. Quinnen the Crusher Williams stripped Stroud near the goal line, and Malachi, you make me happy. Corley dropped the ball before he was in the end zone. He'll be benched next week. Texans hit the first 98-yard drive, but that was about the only good thing that happened all night. Replay confirmed one-handed catch, 26-yard line, 3rd and 19 from Garrett Sticky Fingers Wilson sealed the game, and thus propelling the Rizz Show, a.k.a. the Thursday Night Daredevils, a.k.a. the Cheddar Boy Gambling Ring, a.k.a. the Comeback Kings Corey Feldman style, to an early 3-point lead over the not-so-fast lane going into the weekend. And that concludes today's Super Important Sports Report.
All right.
Wow.
Did it.
I'll never say Aaron Rodgers again. It's Aaron Rodriguez.
You did it.
Boogerman Rodriguez.
All right, listen, great job,
The Booger
everybody.
Man.
We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap her up.
Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4, 5, 6, 7.
Ready to roll? We are backstage at Point Fest. Ladies and gentlemen, Brent and Barry from Shinedown. What's up, gentlemen?
Well,
How are
hello.
you?
What's going on? How are you?
It's great to see you. It's great to see you.
Good to
First
see
of
you.
all,
Thanks for being cool with us because I was super, super late. I was very, very late. Some things in rock and roll haven't changed. The singers are usually late.
now listen, if we're going to do it, you are 18 minutes behind. I don't think that that's even late as far as rock stars go. I think that's just about flat.
All right, we'll take that. We can take that.
Yeah.
I don't know if do we look at ourselves as, the RS, the rock star type?
You don't have to. I appreciate that you don't, but I do, and I can.
I
You know what I
appreciate
mean?
it. The reason I am late though is because I needed to take a shower because, quite frankly, I smelled like a farm animal. So I wanted to make sure that we were good today.
So see, the 18 minutes late is completely acceptable, and I do appreciate it.
Also, you should, because I had to be next to him. It was not good.
Well, first and foremost, congratulations on the record.
Thank you.
I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. The song Devil has been doing amazing things for the radio station. People loved it as soon as we put it on the air. There is something so great, and it just has that sort of anthemic quality about it. Where did that song fall in the recording of this particular record? Was that one of your first ones that came about?
It came about probably right in the middle. There were a lot of things about and are, in regards to Attention, the new album. We did things a little differently this time. We've had the pleasure of working with a lot of producers, a lot of great engineers, male and female. But it was time for us to do it in-house. So our bass player, Eric Bass, who is quite frankly, way more than a bass player. He produced Attention. He also mixed it. And so the dynamic of everything, too, is that it is a conceptual piece of work, but not in the traditional sense. We call it a story album because everything takes place inside of a room on the record. The goal is to put the audience and the listener into this room to take this journey. And Devil is basically the beginning of this journey because we don't look at it as like the story starts off at rock bottom, but the fact is this individual that is inside the story has come to a place in their life where if they don't confront what's inside of them that could potentially sabotage them, their family, and quite frankly, their actual life in general, they're gonna have to face these demons basically. So Devil starts the beginning of the story of Attention, but the actual song was probably written about middle of the way in the recording process, or the writing process, I should say.
And there's a lot going on here because you recorded at Eric's studio, which was not a commercial studio that normally does this kind of thing, correct?
It is a commercial studio for him. He's done a lot of stuff there. In fact, when we met Eric 11 years ago, when we were doing Sound of Madness, we were writing for Sound of Madness, and we actually went to his studio to write. We didn't know him. He was just a producer at that studio, and we wrote at that studio. And then, things happened and changed, and we said, what about that guy? Because he's extremely smart and a great producer. He was a producer first, came into us as the bass player.
Sure.
So, but he's done other records out of there, and other records have been done out of there even when he's not home. But it's not one of the, it's his place. So he has ownership of it. He built it. And this was actually the last record done there. He's moving the studio, so this was it. This was the, it's bittersweet, but it was a great time.
Well, I watched that documentary, and finding out that he's a big Ben Folds fan, I am borderline stalker-like when it comes to that man. So
Really?
well, not really, but
That's
just
okay.
a big
Ben Folds
fan.
is great.
Yeah. So that part was very interesting. I wonder about the dynamic while you guys are recording. Now, I have interviewed you guys numerous times over the years. I don't know you though as people, but I would bet you that while you're making a record, it can get intense.
Sure.
Do you guys fight? Do you guys argue? Do you guys? Because I would think everybody's passionate. Passion levels are on high when you're doing this project that you put so much into. Do you guys communicate that way? Do you get after each other that way, or am I misreading that?
What are your thoughts on that?
I think sometimes we do. You put a lot of pressure on yourselves, and then Eric took extra pressure on himself producing and mixing the record. But what's nice about us is we're still a family. We truly love each other and hang out with each other. So if it is a spat, it's more like, a frustration type of thing instead of, you suck and you can't do it right or any of that kind of thing. But having Eric on the other side, having Eric produce this record, he knows us so well, he was able to pull different things out of us. He knows our strengths and weaknesses. So he knew he was going to push you in a direction that might be not in your comfort zone for a song. He knew how to kind of manipulate you that way to get it out of you.
That's fantastic.
Because I think any producer with any band
it's also a psychiatrist in a way, because you're dealing with very fragile egos. We're all artists. And so you really have to be able to get inside somebody's head and know how far you can push them without pushing them over the edge.
I have to be very, very frank about it, though. The fact of the matter is Eric had a really good way of looking at this process and this album. We would rather go crazy making it ourselves rather than watch someone go crazy trying to make it.
Yeah.
Because the dynamic of us and the four of us, there wasn't a day that Eric walked in, and I spent 179 days with him last year. And we all four of us were so completely together on what we were doing and the statement we were making and why this record is so necessary. We weren't desensitized to it. And a lot of this album was inspired by the fan base all over the world. The one thing about Eric was, too, is when he went into the studio every single day, he never questioned himself. And there was never any kind of hesitation with him. He didn't walk around going, I don't know what we should do, or what do you think? There was never, it wasn't a guessing game with him. This was very, very serious. And it was also very instrumental, no pun intended, to the next phase and the next chapter of Shinedown's career. There was, quite frankly, nobody else that could have done it but him.
Wow. And this is album number 6. And so Devil is now your 13th number 1 over those 6 records. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. And I know you don't want to look at that and bask in that, and I understand that, but that is friggin' impressive, gentlemen.
It's a big honor, but we're always looking forward. Always looking forward, trying to outdo what we've done in the past, and we're very lucky and blessed to still be here and be relevant and still have new fans coming along and younger fans. We don't take that for granted, but we're already thinking ahead of what's next, not necessarily next record, but next singles and what we're going to do to make our band grow even more internationally, globally, all over the world, because we want to have the trajectory of, say, an Aerosmith or U2, where you just don't go away.
Right.
You reinvent yourselves a little bit, you stay true to who you are, but the four of us are on a mission to do this for our whole life.
And another side of that also is just, we, when we're writing an album and we're in the middle of the process, I have each guy has a very specific thing that they do, and each guy can also do a lot of things very, very well. But it's the humility of knowing when to ask for help. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that, like for me, when I'm writing the lyrics, because I'm the main lyricist in the band, but on this album I got a lot of help from Barry and from Zach and from Eric, because they would just push me in different directions. But I call it staring down the beast, and the beast is a white piece of paper, and you got to figure out what you want to create. And the other side of that, too, is we used to be really hard on ourselves about don't get comfortable, don't rest, don't take a moment at least to say good job to each other. It used to just be like, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. You will burn yourself out.
Right.
And I think that we've all looked at everything that is Shinedown as there's a lot of different mountains. And if you were at the base of the mountain and you looked up at it and you said to yourself, there's no possible way I can ever get to the top of this on my own, that might be true. But if we all do it together, then there's not any mountain that we can't conquer.
It just seems like there is an amazing amount of positive communication that happens.
It's just
in
a
your
lot
band.
of respect for each other.
That it as well.
And we're all in a very good, happy, healthy place with each other. We've kind of grown up a little bit and stopped doing the dumb things that we have done in the past. So we're in a good space, and we are Shinedown. I would never be in another band with anybody else. This is what I do, and it's the feeling's the same for everybody else. This is what we do. This is who we are, and these are the people we love being around.
Well, we are so thankful to have you guys here today.
By the way, we got to say thank you so much to this station and just everything that this city and the Point means to the band. You have been there from Jump Street, man, from very, very,
very early on,
like 2003, going all the way back to the first record. That never goes unnoticed, man, and it is always very, very much 6 albums in appreciated that you guys and girls have been very supportive of us, and you've always been very, very real. And we wouldn't
Just thank you very much for allowing us to be ourselves, man. It means a lot.
Listen, St. Louis loves rock and roll, and you're an amazing rock and roll band.
Well, thank you.
So
we
it's,
think St. Louis is awesome and amazing too.
Well, this is just a love fest, everybody.
All the
Guys,
love.
thank you so very much again.
Thank you.
Attention is out now. Shine Down. We appreciate you guys very much.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Time to save some green. Go visit my good friends over at Mount Top Motor Company out there in Troy. They have an incredible lineup of cars, trucks, SUVs. In fact, you can see the whole inventory right now at mounttopmotors.com. And to top it off, no payments for 90 days. They have some of the best financing around, all kinds of ways to save some money. And what's amazing about them is they're just down to earth. It's a no pressure environment. So you're gonna find the right car. You're gonna enjoy the process because they're amazing. So aim higher, go to Mount Top Motor Company. It's mounttopmotors.com.
And it's Rizz. We are backstage at Point Fest, and say hi to POD. Hello, fellas. Hello. What's up? I could hear him right now saying hello. Welcome back to St. Louis. Welcome back to Point Fest. Yeah.
Great to be
St.
here,
Louis. St. Louis, indeed.
In the house.
You like it here?
Oh, yeah. We've been coming here for many, many, many years.
Any?
I want to say a few decades. Yeah, it's been a while. For sure.
Any memories, special memories of St. Louis?
It is, but it's not a good one. We actually went to we were touring in a van back in the day, and we went to the movie theater by the train station.
All right, that is it for us. Donnie Fandango is next. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't forget to check out the clip of the day brought to you by Michael's Flooring. One more time, I got to shout out the companies that have sponsored our heads this week. Made very generous donations to Cardinal Glennon, and I thank you guys again for helping us raise over $20,000.
20K.
Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. We'll start with Moon. Your head sponsored by?
Well, of course, Case and Bucks. We love the food from Case and Bucks down in Barnhart. This is where families and sports enthusiasts come together for great food, entertainment, and experiences. Visit their website, caseandbucksbarnhart.com. That's caseandbucksbarnhart.com.
And Rafe.
Victory Men's Health, empowering you to live optimized. In memory and support of our dear friend Jeff Burton. Visit victorymenshealth.com.
My head sponsored by Ella and Ollie Popcorn, St. Louis, locally grown for your home popping experience. Provided the highest quality popcorn varieties with unique seasonings, oils, and poppers. Visit their website at ellaolliepopcorn.com. And King Scott.
Alpha Pet. My head sponsored by Alpha Pet. ALFA, like Lern keeps saying, it's like Alf with an extra A, and it's been in the cat care business for more than 30 years, and they've patented the flat bottom liner and the flat bottom sitting liner for your cat litter needs. They have odor and moisture absorbing crystals for the litter box as well. AlphaPetco.com.
All right, thanks to all those companies again for their generous donations to Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, and thank you all once again for your generosity in the month of October. Reaching deep, again, raising $20,000 for Cardinal Glennon.
Amazing. Thank you guys.
All right, this weekend, you're listening for Alice in Chains. If you hear Alice in Chains anytime from now until midnight today, from 6 to midnight Saturday, 6 to midnight Sunday, hear Alice in Chains, you open up the 105.7 The Point mobile app, you hit my face, and you have a chance to win $1,000 and a chance to co-host the morning show. That's the Face the Music competition we're doing for the next, it'll be 4 weeks. So that my week's done. Lern's week is next week. She'll get to pick the bands. Moon, the podcast is titled
Give me some wet bread.
Give me some wet bread. All right, what else you got?
December 7th, Punk Rock Christmas. Get your tickets now, thepageant.com, thepageant.com.
King Scott.
Well, you can follow me at King Scott Rules, and I am still trying to accomplish the million goal, and we're getting so close. We just have almost $1 million to go on whatever that's called.
Venmo?
Yeah, Venmo. Thank you.
Hey,
King Scott Rules.
Every journey begins with a single step.
Thank you.
All right.
And you're
We're getting real close.
You almost got the first step.
All right. Rafe.
Yeah, follow me at I am Rafe Williams. Check out, we dropped a bonus Wayne's World sketch with me and Lern on the number 2 show yesterday for Halloween. We did a Wayne's World thing in the last podcast, and we had a little bonus, top 10 hot chicks of the 90s. We had a lot of fun with it. Hope you enjoy it, too. And you can get tickets to, I'm going to be at the Funny Bone January 25th. It's a long runway, but I got people already buying tickets and asking me my next homestand. That's when it's going to be, January 25th. So You can go on to funnybone.com and get tickets to it now in Westport, and have fun this weekend. Be safe and enjoy November.
Okay, well, we leave you with a selection from our Teamers Remember the Day, brought to you by Hot Shot Sports Bar and Grill. From Waterloo, Illinois, Angela Borsick is our Teamers Remember the Day. Angela, wants to hear this song. Here it is.
Oh, no.
Have a great weekend, and we will see you Monday. Bye.
Energy, huh?
The Rizzuto Show.
Backstage at Point Fest, and I'm completely honored to be joined by Ed from Live. This is one of my childhood dreams, to always talk to you every time you're in town.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Been following you. I was telling you, tour manager, I've been following you guys since, and I'm sorry if nobody out there cares, but I'm going to walk down memory lane with you. MTV 120-minute tour, Springfield, Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
Shrine Mosque, I think is what it was.
I think so. It was our first tour.
That was your first tour?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you guys were like, talk about just being with the guys you grew up with. You guys were like 12 at the time or something.
Yeah, we started the band when we were 13, coming out of 8th grade into high school. And that tour you mentioned, that was 1992. So that was our first road experience with Public Image Limited and Big Audio Dynamite and Blind Melon.
Yeah, that was amazing, and that's one of those. That's like obviously the first time I saw you, but even more creepy. I have a Public Affection CD.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. There aren't too many of those around.
Is there no restraining order just yet on that?
No. Somebody did try. Somebody tried to they put it up on one of the streaming sites as like Public Affection. I'm like, hey, that's our band.
Wait a minute, hold on a second.
Wait a minute, you can't do that.
You got enough of that stuff going on all the time anyway, with so many records out and everything, and now new music, and you guys are here in St. Louis. Talk about touring again and still doing it after, what, 25 years of Throwing Copper, one of my all-time faves. It's still fun for you, right?
It's so much fun. We're just kicking this year off. We've been back now. We took a long break there, and break/breakup. Right. And this is the third year we've been out. You know, the first year we did a bunch of festivals. Last year we did a great tour with Counting Crows.
Yep, been here. I was buddies.
There. And then, we're kicking off this year right now. This is really the first couple shows we've done this year. And then we're out with Bush and Our Lady Peace starting June 6th.
That's going to be an amazing tour as well, and I can't wait to see that. I'm going to go somewhere and see that. Talk about the difference now as opposed to 20, 25, even 30 years ago touring. Like, what's the same now and what is different now?
Well, we're older.
Right, yeah.
Are we? Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And so, I think the pace is less crazy, by design, just because we all have kids. I think there's like 13 kids between the four of us.
Yeah.
So it's
a lot of love there, though.
And then they're all graduating from, a bunch of them are graduating from high school and all this kind of stuff. So we're, we pace it out. Of course, summer's really busy, but I would say that's the biggest difference. Like, we don't, like when in the early 90s, mid 90s, I mean, it was nothing for us to be